Come on in, come on in. Happy Friday night. Happy Friday night. Come on in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Thought I'd hop on for a quick second. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know where you're checking in from. Come on in, come on in. Hit that like button, hit that like button. What's going on? What's going on? Interstate Screw in the building. What's going on? How's that R&L contract holding you? How's that contract holding you? Got Houston in the building, Sacramento in the building, Georgia in the building. What else we got? Michigan in the building. Come on in, come on in. Friday night. Hope everybody is being safe. I know I am. This is one of them Friday nights where I'm gonna stay my black ass in the house. We got Lollapaloozas in town. People acting a goddamn fool. So I'm gonna stay my ass where it's safe at, in the crib. Tonight. So come on in, come on in. I came across something that I'm actually a little late on, and everybody knows how I feel about Amazon. If you've been watching the channel as long as I've been doing the channel, everybody knows how I feel about Amazon. Now, I'll invest in Amazon. I have stock in Amazon. I'm not a fan of Amazon Relay. I'm not a fan of, just the company as far as their standards and morals of how they treat people. But overall, I mean, the company itself, the idea of the company, it's ingenious. I just don't like the way they treat people. I've never been an employee of Amazon. Just some of the things I've read, some of the testimonials that people that have, worked for Amazon. I've talked to a numerous amount of DSPs that have just told me their story of how they were treated or how they are treated as an Amazon DSP. And it's funny that this story was sent to me, and I'm actually a little late on it because the sentencing was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. But a lady formed a crew, and she was able to steal $10 million from Amazon before she got caught, which is funny to me. I think it's funny to me that, she was able to get away with this for the couple years that she did. But there is a sideline story that I want to parallel to, everything that has gone on in the box truck industry during that same time period. And, I want to prove a point. So what I want to do, we're going to read this story. There is no video. There is no video for it. The news didn't cover it in video format. So I'm gonna read it, and I'm gonna break this down, and I'm just gonna tell you how stupid this lady is. She got 16 years, which is a very long time, I think, for stealing money. But some of the dumb shit she did, this lady deserves to get caught. So let's break this story down real quick. Come on in. Man, my truck took a dump and cost me the contract, but I'll get back in there. When did this happen? You ain't said nothing. You've been in all my live streams. I ain't seen you in Kirk live streams. You ain't said nothing. We got Peoria in the building. What's going on? Shout out to Peoria. Peoria, Illinois in the building.
God, please, no!
Wrong one.
No!
Dallas in the building. Florida in the building. LA in the building. Athens, Georgia in the building. California building. Mysterious Boy said, I messaged you on IG. All right, well, depending on when you message me, I'm about 2 or 3 weeks behind. So, I get to it when I get to it, I guess, man. My DMs is flooded. I probably get about 40 to 50 DMs a day. I can't keep up with all of them. So if it's something that's important, like a coaching call, you might as well just go to www.boxtruckcourses.com, or else, you got to wait in line, unfortunately. Let me see. Amazon Relay or Amazon Flex is a complete joke and a disgrace. I'm not a big fan of Amazon as far as their business practices, as far as how they treat people. I think the business itself is, ingenious, but I just don't like the way they treat people. Philly in the building, San Antonio's, Scranton. Is that Scranton? Yeah, Scranton, PA in the building. All right, come on in. Let's just jump into the story real quick because I ain't going to hold y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I just wanted to share this and go over it real quick with y'all. All right, so this is from the actual U.S. Attorney's Office of Northern Georgia. So let's read this real quick. Let's read this real quick. Her name was Kayrika Wortham, has been sentenced for stealing more than $9.4 million from Amazon.com while employed as a manager for the company. 7 individuals, including Wortham, have been charged in connection with the scheme. The defendant abused her position of trust at Amazon to steal nearly $10 million from the company based on a brazen fraud scheme involving fake vendors and fictitious invoices. So she was the operations manager and she was responsible for pushing through the invoices for DSPs and for people who sold Amazon. What do they call it? The Amazon selling partners, Amazon sales partners. So she was in charge of pushing those invoices through. So when you, like, let's say you're a DSP and you complete whatever your routes are or your week, you submit the invoices, and then she's the one who submits them through for processing so that you can get paid. Um, she then committed new crime. She then committed new crimes while on bond, even creating a fake dismal document purporting to be from the court, and that included the forged signature of the chief U.S. district judge, all for the purpose of misleading a franchising company about the status of her criminal charges. Her prison sentence recognizes the magnitude of her fraud and serves to protect the integrity of our courts and justice system. The Secret Service takes cases of fraud extremely seriously, says Special Agent in charge of the U.S. Secret Service Atlanta Field Office, Stephen R. Basil. This individual stole millions from a business that employed her, exploited not only their trust, but our nation's financial system. Thanks to the hard work of our partners in the U.S. Attorney's Office, her sentence reflects seriousness of her crimes and sends a message that this kind of fraudulent activity will not be tolerated. According to the U.S. Attorney Buchanan, the charges and other information presented in court, Kayrika Wortham abused her position at Amazon to submit more than $10 million in fictitious invoices for fake vendors, causing Amazon to pay approximately $9.4 million to Wortham and her co-conspirators. So she was pushing through the invoices, like I said, and obviously, as that money was going through, they was kicking her that money back, and obviously, she was paying off her team. From about August 2020, now let's look at these dates. From about August 2020 to March 2022. August 2020, which was the damn near, let's see, the pandemic started March, so April, May, June, July, August. So 5 months in, and that's right around the time everybody was getting a PPP. Everybody was getting a PPP. Amazon probably was, really busy at the time because supply chain had halted. A lot of items were on back order. So Amazon was, probably, had they mind somewhere else, they probably wasn't even really paying attention to stuff like this. This is how she was able to get away with it during that time period. And then when the supply chain picked back up in the latter part of 2020, early part of 2021, they were just flooded with back orders and orders because volume was up because everybody had PPP money. So from about August 2020 to March 2022, Wortham worked as an operations manager at the Amazon warehouse in Smyrna, Georgia. In her position, Wortham supervised others that acted with the authority to approve both new vendors and the payment of vendor invoices for Amazon. So she onboarded, so she had the authority to onboard and approve invoices. So if I was to sign up for a DSP with the plethora of other people that were signing up, she would cherry pick me out, let's say, push me through to get onboarded, to be running as a DSP, and she also approved the invoices that would in turn pay me, for example. So she had a lot of power, and this is how she was able to pull this off. Wortham, who was the leader of the scheme, provided fake vendor information to unknowing subordinates and asked them to input the information into Amazon's vendor system. So by her being an operations supervisor, all her underlings that weren't working with her in the scheme but worked under her in that department, she was giving them the invoices to process and push through, unbeknownst to them. Um, where did I leave off at? All right, okay. Wortham, who was the leader in the scheme, provided fake. Right there. Once the information was entered, Wortham approved the fake vendors, enabling them to submit invoices. Wortham and co-conspirators then submitted fictitious invoices to Amazon, falsely representing that the vendors had provided goods and services to Amazon. Wortham approved the invoices, causing Amazon to transfer millions in fraudulent proceeds to bank accounts controlled by her and her co-conspirators. Wortham conspired with others, including Brittany Hudson, in the scheme. Hudson was in a relationship with Wortham and owned a business, Legend Express LLC, that contracted with Amazon to deliver packages to customers. All right, so Wortham and her girlfriend or her partner, obviously she was a lesbian there in a lesbian relationship. Obviously, her girlfriend Brittany uh, started a DSP, a delivery service, in which Wortham obviously pulled her in, right? Pushed her through the system. So now she has this delivery service, which I took the liberty to pull an axle and look up. Now I'm not going to go through all her safer and stuff like that. That's not what I was looking for, but I did pull up the name of her company and I looked at some of her Indeed reviews, and they're pretty much all bad reviews. It is a reflection of who she is as a person, as far as a scam artist and a thief. A lot of the people who left reviews on Indeed that worked for her company talked about how there was a lot of favoritism between heterosexual people and homosexual people. Obviously, homosexual people they showed more favoritism to. Some of these reviews said, and that majority of the management was part of the LGBTQ community. The owner is rude and doesn't value employees. A lot of how the owner, the lady, what's her name, Brittany, would have meltdowns and yell at people and talk to them like kids and incompetent, just ghetto shit, just ghetto, ghetto. This Mark After Dark, so ghetto nigga shit, basically. All right, so this Mark After Dark, we're gonna get a little obscene tonight. So I'm not gonna read none of these reviews, but as you can see, I actually took the liberty and read them prior to coming on live, and it's just a reflection of who she is and who her partner is and what type of company they was running. She's really not a good owner operator. She was pulled in by her girlfriend to, just be a part of this scheme. Although she was running the DSP, but from the looks of it, she wasn't doing a good job of it. Let me get back to this story. All right, so Brittany Hudson. Hudson was in a relationship with Worthing and owned a business, Legend Express LLC, that contracted with Amazon to deliver packages to the customers. Hudson allegedly worked with Worthing to submit millions of fictitious invoices for fake vendors to Amazon. Worthing and Hudson purchased expensive real estate, luxury cars, including a nearly $1 million home in Smyrna, Georgia, a 2019 Lamborghini Urus, a 2021 Dodge Durango, I'm sure it was a Hellcat, a 2022 Tesla Model X, a 2018 Porsche Panamera, and a Kawasaki ZX 636 motorcycle, all with fraudulent proceeds from the scheme. So she was able to run up damn near 10 million in 2 years. Now, this lady, this lady purchased all these cars, and I'm just curious. I'm really curious to know if she pulled up to Amazon with this Lamborghini, or she pulled up to Amazon with this Model X, because judging from how she looked, that's her. This her right here, and she represented herself. She represented herself in court. She represented herself in court. That little buggy that she's pulling, that is That's all her court documents and shit, I guess, because she represented herself. And this is how she was going to court looking like a goddamn fool, pulling this cart with all the documents while she sat in court and represented herself. She didn't have a lawyer. She didn't have a lawyer. Obviously, y'all know by the title, she was sentenced to 16 years, but that's her looking like a goddamn fool. Oh, it's another picture I got of her. Hold on. And that's her too. That's her. Yep, that's her. She ain't worthy of driving a Lamborghini. What y'all think? Former Amazon worker sentenced to 16 years after stealing. She just looked like a goddamn fool. And that's probably why they got caught. She probably did drive that Lamborghini to work. Let's see, where did I leave off at? Wortham also recruited co-conspirators Demetrius Hines, who was in loss prevention at Amazon, and LaQuia Blanchard, who worked as a senior human resource assistant at the company. Hines and Blanchard provided names and social security numbers to Wortham to create additional fake vendor accounts. Wow. Blanchard provided names of relatives and associates. Hines provided stolen personal identifying information that he purchased from Jaquan Frazier, who in turn allegedly purchased the information from Daryl J. Burgo, also known as Fleet. Hines and Blanchard were paid in fraudulent proceeds. Hines also recruited Jamar L. James Sr., another operations manager at Amazon location in Duluth, in the scheme. Like Wortham, James allegedly approved fake vendors and fictitious invoices, including after Wortham left Amazon in March 2022. So, man, they started bringing a lot of people into the fold, and that's probably how she ended up getting caught. She was probably going to get caught anyway, but once you start bringing a lot of people in, then you already know how it goes from there. But the story gets interesting. So she ended up getting arrested in March of 2022. She obviously posted bond. While on bond, Wortham and Hudson committed new criminal conduct that resulted in the revocation of their bonds. So they bonded out, their bonds got revoked. In January 2023, they were working with CRU Franchising Company to open a hookah lounge in Midtown Atlanta. During the due diligence to close the deal, CRU discovered and asked about the Amazon fraud charges against them. In response, Wortham and Hudson allegedly lied to CRU, claiming that their Amazon-related criminal charges were dismissed. The two then emailed fraudulent court documents to CRU that purported to show dismissal of the charges and contained forged signatures of Chief U.S. District Judge Timothy C. Batten Sr. Now, this is why she got 16 years. This is why. She got more years probably for forging the judge's signature than she did more than likely for stealing $10 million from Amazon. Like, how stupid can you be? How stupid can you be? You know, she was stupid, from the jump. But once she got busted, bonded out, right? Tried to take some of that money, I guess, and open up a hookah lounge business. And when the franchising company found out, she ended up forging some documents, forging this judge's signature, saying that the charges were dismissed. The two then emailed fraudulent court documents to Syria purporting that the dismissal, blah, 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 forging Timothy C. Batten Sr. and forged seals and signatures of the clerk of the court. Hudson also allegedly emailed CRU doctored bank statements and personal finance statements that fraudulently inflated the balances in her accounts to support the franchise deal. Kayrika Wortham, also known as Kayrika Dupree, and Kayrika Young, 32, of Atlanta, so, she got a few different aliases, was sentenced by the U.S. Chief District Judge Timothy C. Batten Sr., the judge who she, forged his signature, to 16 years in prison, to be followed by 3 years of supervised release in order to pay restitution to Amazon in the amount of $9,469,731.45. More than $2.7 million in fraudulent proceeds, seized from multiple bank accounts. So she had 2.7 million still in cash sitting in multiple banks. So out of the 9.4, she still was holding on to 2.7. Um, and from multiple bank accounts, the resident in Smyrna and the vehicles purchased with fraudulent proceeds were forfeited. Wortham was convicted of the Amazon fraud charges on November 30th, 2022, after she pleaded guilty. She has been indicted for defrauding CRU and forging the signature of a federal judge and seal of the court. Those charges remain pending. So she still hasn't even been charged. So basically, the judge sentenced her to 16 years from what she did to Amazon, and she still has to go face charges for defrauding the court, frauding the judge's signature, frauding the seal of the court. Yeah. So she still got to face those charges. On June 20th, 2023, a federal grand jury indicted Brittany Hudson. Brittany Hudson is the DSP who owns, what's the name of her company? Legend Express LLC of Atlanta, Georgia, and Jamar L. James, Sr., 47, of Calera, Alabama, for conspiracy, wire fraud, money laundering, and Hudson for forging the signature of federal judge and seal of the court, Daryl J. Burgo, 32, of Lawrenceville, Georgia, was charged in the same indictment with conspiracy, access device fraud, and aggravated identity theft. These charges are pending. For their roles in the scheme, on November 30th, 2022, Demetrius Hines pleaded guilty to wire fraud conspiracy on June 27th. LaQuisha Blanchard pleaded guilty to wire fraud and conspiracy on June 27th. Jaquan Frazier pleaded guilty to misprison of a felony. Judge Batten will sentence these three defendants at a later date. This case is being investigated. So the ringleader of this ordeal, which is the bald head lady that I showed y'all a few minutes ago, which is this lady right here. This lady right here. She was the ringleader, and she was the one who actually had a decent job at Amazon. Oop, I gotta share my screen. Actually had a decent job at Amazon. She was an operations supervisor, and she had a lot of power. And this just goes to show you how, misappropriation of power can really mess things up for people that are coming behind you. That pandemic just fucked a lot of shit up. It's Mark After Dark. So it's Mark After Dark. So we're going to cuss a little bit. So the same situations that happened with the box truck industry, as far as like the rentals. I was watching Kirk earlier. He did a live early this morning, and he was talking about how, sometimes when he goes on the load board now in the notes section, the shippers have notes, no box trucks. He talked about how a lot of box truck owner operators have made it bad to the point where shippers don't even want to deal with box truck owner operators anymore. Just the way, that wave of people that came into the space during the pandemic, it just, a lot of people did a lot of bad things during the pandemic in many different fashions of the logistics industry that have left a sour taste in the powers that be's mouth, and it makes it really challenging for people who want to enter into these spaces going forward. It's rough out here now. That pandemic, then shit good come out of that pandemic. And this lady had a job where Amazon entrusted her with a lot of power. She had the power to grant people, a lot of people want an opportunity to be an Amazon DSP. I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? But a lot of people want that opportunity. A lot of people apply for it, and only a few get accepted, right? She has the power. She had the power to pull those requisitions and say, you know what, we're going to select you, push you through. And she also had the power to push your invoices through for payment so Amazon could release the payment to you or to your factoring company. She had a great job, and she misused and abused her power, and it's just gonna make it really, really bad for somebody coming in that position after her. It's just gonna make things bad. So I want to know what y'all think about this situation. I know I saw the comments going up. I just wanted to react to it and see what people thought about it, uh, because it is Amazon. So I know I don't really cover Amazon like that, but I like to make fun of it every now and again. Amazon Relay or Amazon Flex is a complete joke and a disgrace. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, 9.4 million. We just rounded up to 10 million. She ran it up in 2 years. In 2 years, So she was the mastermind, correct. I used to deliver for Amazon, and as soon as they put a camera in my face, I went 1099. Amazon's terrible. They have their flex drivers driving 140 miles for a 3-hour block, paying $66. Yeah, I heard those flex blocks don't really pay that much. I heard they really don't pay that much, but I heard the DSP drivers sometimes drive sometime between 10 and 14 hours a day, and they don't get overtime. So, and they're doing with like 140 to 180 stops a day. So I think that whole model needs to be fixed. Um, Obviously, there's not much room for margin there, and I understand why they push the DSP drivers so hard and don't pay them that overtime. Is because Amazon wants to keep the rates down, right? They want to keep the rates down because if they pay more, then obviously they got to go up on the rates, which means they're going to have to go up on Prime, and obviously they don't want to do it. A lot of people that drive DSP, I hear them complaining about having to rescue other drivers. So, like, let's say if you're a good DSP driver and you're efficient and you can get your stops done in an efficient, a good amount of time, you just can't go home. So, if you got 140 stops and let's say you're able to get your stops done in somewhere between 6 to 8 hours, they're not going to let you go home. You got to mandatory go rescue a driver that's behind. So you got to meet up with a driver, back your van up to their van, and take some of their orders off their van and go help them with their route. And it's mandatory. Like, you can't say no. So, they got strict rules over there in Amazon, man. I don't condone it and should be an example just because, yeah, they made an example 16 years. So 16 years I think is a long time for what she did. But they definitely made an example out of her. I think a big part of the example, even though she hasn't been sentenced for that part yet, is the is because she did some fraudulent stuff by forging the judge's signature, forging the seal. I think that probably had part to do with his decision, on what she got. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You said she's a complete joke for doing that. What up, Kurt? What up? What you on, Kurt? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Mark Brown, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up? What up, Kurt? What you on? Kurt probably out on the road. Vincent said that took some thought. Could have used that energy for something positive. Yeah, it's crazy to me how people who can put together elaborate fraudulent schemes don't put that mindset uh that they have to, come up with an elaborate scheme to do bad, to do something good and legitimate. You know, I mean, the lady don't look like she's that bright, but she has to have some type of common sense or some type of sense, period, right? In order to even get the position that she held, you know what I'm saying, with Amazon. In order to get that position, to get entrusted with the amount of power that they gave her the power to approve millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars in invoices. So, I am curious to know what her educational background is. She probably does have a degree, but I mean, look at this lady, man. Look how she coming to court, bro. Look, like her shit is nappy. Her shit nappy. Like she ain't even dressed up. She in jogging pants, sweatpants, a t-shirt. She got her, her little cart with all her little documents. She represented herself. I mean, she a goddamn fool. She a goddamn fool. But yeah, Mark people came in box truck gang, F it up as always. We talk about the box truck business all the time as far as, what took place the last 2 years. And I think a lot of people just came into a lot of industries within the past 2 years, but most specifically the logistics industry in a whole. And then if you want to get more specific, the box truck uh, lane. And the reason why is because there's really no barrier to entry there. There's no barrier to entry like there is if you want to drive a semi truck. You have to uh, go to school, get your CDL, and in most cases that takes 4 to 6 weeks, and it's going to cost you anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000 to do that. So that barrier to entry to enter into the box truck space is very low. As long as you got $300, to get your MC, um, you got some startup capital, which a lot of people did at that time, to either go out and buy or rent a vehicle, um, to put the down payment for the insurance, um, and to purchase whatever other little materials and equipment that they would need to go out and do their job. Then you pretty much was in the box truck business. A lot of people started off doing Amazon. Amazon Relay was very, very popular during that time, uh, because as soon as your authority went active, you can go to Amazon. They had no restrictions at that time. Now they got a 180-day rule where your authority has to be active for 180 days. Now ask yourself, why did they put that 180-day rule into place for situations like this? During the pandemic, there's a lot of different stories we could talk about for Amazon, how people acted a goddamn fool. Loads disappearing, a lot of unprofessionalism, as far as the way uh, these owner operators were talking, a lot of unprofessionalism by the way they were dressing, a lot of unprofessionalism because people mismanaged and misappropriated funds, mismanaged funds. So they came into the space with a certain amount of funds, and not having a full understanding of the space itself, investing into something that they didn't understand, going through that peak season of 2021, thinking that everything was all peaches and cream and rosy, and this is the best business ever. Why haven't I been in the box truck business before? I should have been doing this 5 years ago. Man, didn't nobody told me about this? Man, I just ran up a bag. This is $10 a mile, $15 a mile, $20 a mile, $2 million a mile. Not understanding what they were investing in and what was going on at the time. And then when the market slowly started to correct itself, fuel went up. We had a fuel hike. And while we had that fuel hike, the market was correcting itself. Everybody was just so, um, um, thrown off, or what's the word I want to use? Not thrown off, but distracted by the fuel hike, that there was something else that was going on that was a lot more serious, which was the market correcting itself. But everybody was distracted by the fuel hike, right? The market was going to correct itself anyway, because that couldn't go on forever. Those high rates couldn't go on forever. People weren't going to get money like they were getting forever. The government wasn't going to continue to pay people for just having kids forever. They weren't going to keep feeding people with EBT forever. They weren't going to keep giving PUA forever. The states weren't going to keep giving unemployment forever. PPP wasn't going to go on forever. EIDL wasn't going to go on forever. All these government incentives that were being passed out, which in turn stimulated the economy by providing an infusion of capital for people to go out and spend money, which increased volume with pretty much every retailer, including Amazon, is what drove these rates up. And it wasn't going to stay like that forever. So when things started to correct themselves, you had people who were renting trucks at an exorbitant or an egregious amount of money, not knowing that that wasn't even normal. You know, I talked to people last year that were paying $2,500 a week for a rental truck with rider. I talked to a lady who was renting a truck for $2,500 a week. I talked to a gentleman who was renting a truck for $2,000 a week. I talked to people who were renting trucks for $1,800 a week, $1,500 a week, all types of numbers, right? And that's just not sustainable in today's market, in which today's market is normal, right? And in the market in 2021, let's say late 2021, early 2022, that was sustainable. Once again, why? Because rates were very, 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 very high. So everything balanced out. So, you know, a lot of people that you are saying mess the game up, or mess the business up, or mess the industry up, were people that invested into something that they didn't necessarily understand. And when things start to correct themselves, instead of them doing the right thing by, you know what, taking the truck back to Ryder, taking the truck back to Budget, taking the truck back to Penske, taking the truck back to Enterprise, and just handing them the keys and saying the truck is out front, what did people do? When those cars kept getting hit and that those funds weren't in there and they were getting those declines, what happened? They stopped answering the phone. The rental truck companies were calling these people to tell them to bring the truck back, and they stopped answering the phone. So you had people, owner operators, that were still running loads with a truck that was on the lam. So now, since they know the truck is on the lam and they running loads, they're making money and purposely not paying the rental company now, because they ain't paid them anyway. So they just gonna run it until they can't run it no more. And then we went through a period of a lot of trucks being found on the side of the road, ditched, burnt up, stripped. Reported stolen. You got state troopers getting behind trucks, running the plates, pulling people over. This truck has been reported stolen. The rental truck companies have to report the truck stolen. So now, instead of going to a rental truck company and say, hey, I want to rent a truck, they say, okay, it's going to be $500 a week, 14 cents a mile, and we're going to include 1,500 miles. How are you going to be paying? Company credit card or company debit card? It was simple as that prior to the pandemic. Simple as that. What's the name of your company? You didn't have to present an article of incorporation. You didn't have to present an SS4 form. Nothing. What's the name of your company? So we can make a profile for you. That's it. They'll charge you for a week out. They'll charge you for some additional miles. They'll put $500 miles on hold. The following week, they'll call you. You keeping the truck? Yeah, we keeping the truck. What's the current miles? Okay, so you didn't go over the 1,500 miles, so we're not going to charge you for no additional miles. And those 1,500 miles keep rolling over. You get 1,500 miles free a week. But what happened during the pandemic when people didn't do the right thing once they couldn't sustain their business anymore? The rental truck companies didn't have any more trucks. Right, because everyone was trying to get into the box truck business, and there was a bunch of trucks that were out that the rental truck companies had no idea where their trucks were at, and they had people that weren't paying for them. So what did they do? They made it tougher to rent a truck. Some branches you had to be in business 2 years. Some branches said you had to have a brick and mortar, and ain't no owner operator ain't gonna have no brick and mortar. For most part, most owner operators ain't gonna have a brick and mortar, so that was a deterrent because they didn't want you to rent it. They wanted to push their renters more toward larger companies, larger owner operators who they had already had a rapport with prior to the pandemic. And it's still tough to go in there and rent a truck now. And what else did that do? What else did that do? Now, since a lot of trucks are stolen, what happens now? You think the insurance companies don't know? You're more of a risk now. You're more of a risk now. So now there's a red flag on people who want to rent box trucks for commercial use now. Especially if you new and you have a young authority, you're at higher risk because you're at higher risk to fail. And the insurance company don't know if you have morals or not because they're going off what the mass majority has shown them over the past 2 to 3 years. My rate, if I wanted to go rent a truck, and your rate is going to be two different rates. My insurance, if I wanted to, if I wanted to start a new company and I would have to go out and get new insurance, my new insurance, not my aged insurance, my new insurance and your new insurance is going to be two different types of insurances. Because my DOT, the first number of my DOT starts with a 2 and yours starts with a 3. Mine starts with an early 2. Why? Because the DOTs are given, the numbers are given to you in ascending order. So if they just say they just started DOT today and I was the first person to apply for a DOT, I'm number 1. If you're the second, you're number 2, and that's how it goes. My DOT starts with an early 2. While a person coming in now, they might be up to 3.3.3.6.0.7.8 or some shit like that. Mine starts with a 2 and a 5. So when they put my DOT number in and I go to rent a truck, let's say it's with a company I haven't rented from before that doesn't have a profile in me, they know how old my DOT is just by my numbers. So, you're right. There's a lot of different ways that a lot of different people that came into that space or this space during the pandemic has messed it up in so many different ways. Whether you're talking about Amazon Relay, whether you're talking about OTR, even Final Mile. It just came to Final Mile late. It's just now making it to Final Mile. T-Force got restrictions now. RL Carriers got restrictions. I think UST just added a restriction, if I'm not mistaken. Final Mile, shoot, you go active today, shoot, you can run tomorrow. Why? Because Final Mile has always been high turnover. Just always need people. But even as of late, Final Mile companies have had to get more stricter. Not necessarily because of some of the situations that have occurred with like the rental truck companies and Amazon and OTR. More on the Final Mile side has a lot to do with claims. claims are at an all-time high now for big and bulky final mile. It's just a lot of carelessness going on now, a lot of no integrity. You know, people now that are coming to the space, they don't go into people's homes and treat people's homes the way that they would want people to treat their homes. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that anymore. People that are coming into the space now just lack integrity, right? So, yes, the industry has shifted. It has shifted from where it was pre-pandemic. And yes, you can attribute that to a lot of people coming into the space and just not taking it seriously as a business, but treating it as a hustle. And even the people who did come in that, you know, did treat it like a business, and, you know, they were pro business and they wanted to do the things right, uh, they just didn't have an understanding of the business. Just like I said on the live stream last week, you know, a lot of people invested into things that they didn't understand. And when the going got tough, instead of them doing the right moral thing, they didn't. And, you know, we are where we are today. Is that going to be Fed or state time? That's going to be, her situation is federal time, because mainly I believe because of the dollar amount. You're talking about $10 million. So yeah, so United States Attorney's Office, so that's federal. That's federal time. U.S. Attorney, yep. So that's federal. That's federal, buddy. Well, everybody answered that question. Yep, Fed time. Fed time. Of course, they're gonna make an example out of her. Look at the color of her. I wonder how the hell she's able to buy a Lamborghini looking like that. Listen, when you go to Lamborghini, she paid cash. She paid cash. They don't care how you look when you come in there with a check. See, it was a time that, you know, once upon a time, if you went to a dealership and you looked a certain type of way and you came in there with cash, they would flag you. But they don't do that. I don't think they do that no more. I don't think they care. You know. She should at least look the part and got a lawyer. She probably was claiming broke, and she probably was claiming that she didn't have a money for a lawyer. And they, you know, she probably didn't, because they seized all those cars, all the stuff that she bought, and then they ended up taking 2.7 million out of a multitude of bank accounts. So she probably didn't have no money to hire a lawyer. How, Mark? It's business 101. I don't understand why Amazon gave her that much power. Well, somebody got to give it. That's why they have positions. Yeah, different positions, you know. She had a position that, you know, gave her a lot of power. And that's what I'm saying. Clearly, for her to, you know, be hired on for that position or promoted to that position, I don't know if she was with Amazon prior to holding that position, but that position that she had, that allotted her that much power to onboard vendors and to approve payment to vendors. Uh, I'm pretty sure she has some type of college degree, and she has to have some type of uh, uh, background. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think she's a stupid lady. She looks stupid. You know what I'm saying? She's not well kept. You know what I'm saying? But clearly she's not a stupid lady in order to put together that elaborate of a scheme. You know what I'm saying? And to hold the position that she held. So uh went into it with a hustle mentality, no business acumen. You talking about the box truck business, or you talking about this lady? I think you probably talking about the business, right? Wow, never knew that's how DOT works. Yeah, DOT, your number is just like if you go get your DOT number today and I get my DOT number right after you, it's just going to be, if your DOT number is 300 3091, mine going to be 300 3092. It just goes up, goes up, goes up, goes up. So that's how you can tell. Next time you see a UPS truck roll past, look at the DOT number on it. It starts with a zero. I think 021. Hold on, let me see. What is UPS? I think it's 021 something. Hold on, UPS DOT number. I think it's 021 something. Yep, I was right. Right here. So 21800, but it's a zero on in front of it, right? Because it has to be seven numbers. So it's seven numbers. So 021800. 021800. Yep. Yep. So yep. So yeah, that's how it works. And that's how you can kind of get a scope of how long. You won't know exactly how many years, but obviously if you see a DOT number that has 021 or it's missing that six number, right? Well, my DOT got seven. It's up to seven numbers now, right? So, but UPS has six numbers, so 21800. That just lets you know how long a company has been around. You know, that's a little trick in case you didn't know. I'm about to get a DOT in 1 month. Congratulations. Mark, I got my DOT 6 months ago and it starts with four. Damn, they up to fours now? So yeah, see now when you put your DOT number on your truck, people gonna know you're a brand new company. So when you call places and they're gonna want your DOT number, that's how they're gonna know you got a new authority. A newer authority because your number start with four. So I mean they already done started with the three, which makes sense because so many new trucking companies were started during the pandemic. So many thousands on top of thousands on top of thousands on top of thousands were started. So they stifled through those threes real quick in a matter of a couple of years. Wow, they on the fours now. Wow. Well, once again, the next person jumps the line. Man, she tweaking and she played herself. Yeah, so it's the wall says his is 397. So you was right on the edge of almost four, and you got your DOT what about 4 or 5 months ago? So hit that like button too. I know it ain't gonna be that too many people in here tonight. I just wanted to jump in real quick and holler at y'all to see what it would look like on a Friday night, and just tweaking the algorithm a little bit too. Just tweaking the algorithm a little bit. CDA CEO say you looking for a box truck right now. You got your UCR, your BOC3. You said you took down all the good videos. I did. I took down all what good videos? Hold on, let me go look at my channel. Make sure I wasn't his act. What good videos? All my videos is up. What you talking about? What videos you looking for? All my videos are up. I'm looking at them now. I ain't took down no videos. All my videos are up. All my videos are up. All my videos are up. Yep. People selling those filing services. The FMCSA site walks you through it. Yeah, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Yes, sir. I'm in the market for a box truck now. Might have to slide up to Houston. Yeah, what type of truck you looking for? What type of truck you looking for? The video explaining how to run a box truck business with Craigslist ads. Was that a live stream or was it a video? Was that a live stream or was it a video? No, it's not. I know a video you're talking about. That was a video, and it was. Let's see here. I think it was. It was either easily find jobs for your small moving business, or it was $500 a day strategies for your cargo van or 16-foot box truck. It was one of those two, I believe. Yeah, it was one of those two, I believe.
Cake in the break room. Cake in the break room. There's cake in the break room. Going away.
Creme de la creme, right? But like I said, back when we got started, only thing you had to do was put a credit card in, and then once you hit a $50 threshold of leads, then talk to them. Most storage facilities have a board where you can pin your flyer or you can pin your business card too. All right, some type of people that go to Craigslist are searching for under the table moving companies, what's called in the industry rogue moving companies, guys that are not licensed, guys that are hustling, guys that are doing this for side work, side money, side jobs. All right. So it was this one, and then it was also, so it was that one, and it was also, so it was easily find jobs for your small moving business and box truck. And I think it also was maybe that one too. That you can get for a cargo van or a 16-foot box truck. And I actually did a video on that in the past. And I'll put that. You get to know it, you become more familiar with it, right? You become more efficient with it, and you can get your route done. It's possible other end of down for the job, then you can give them a flat rate. Another thing that you can use for direct to consumer is thumbtack. I'll put my code in the description below. You use my code, you'll get $100 worth of leads to get you started on thumbtack. You can use Craigslist and thumbtack. Thumbtack, yeah, what you're going to do this one is too. You're going to and then you can do bigger, smaller moves. You can do $99 couch pickup and deliveries. Yeah, this one. All right, you can do $500 a day strategy. Mattress pickup. This is what it is. Mattress and box spring pickup and deliveries. This one. All right. There's also a big. This is the one I gave you the strategies. This is a $500 plus a day strategies for your cargo van and 16-foot box truck business. That's the video you're looking for. That's the video you're looking for. All right. Oh, okay. It was a 7-figure video. All right, bet. All right. All right, let's look at some trucks real quick before I get out of here. Somebody emailed me the other day. They went and bought a new truck. They bought an International though, even though they was advised against it. They went and bought an International, but you know it is what it is. It is what it is. It's too late now. You dig what I'm saying? All right, let's look at some trucks real quick. I always like to look at trucks so I can see the prices of them. Yes, sir, they got a lot down here in Houston. They building logistics companies down here too. I'm searching for a 16-foot box truck. Research says Cummins and Allison combo. How old does your 3 have to be? For 3PL contract, that depends on the actual company. Do you think big and bulky final mile companies will start adding a minimum 1-year experience requirement since they have so many claims? Some of them have already started adding some minimum requirements. None up to a year yet. Some companies have 6 months, 180 days. R&L has a 9 month. So I think the more claims, it's a possibility they could do a 1 year experience. But then again, that would be kind of risky because the turnover is already high, and a lot of logistics companies are already having a hard time right now onboarding people. Um, I talk to a lot of logistics companies all the time. They actually pay me to consult them, which is why I can provide so much value on the channel and not have to really look for compensation so much, even though I am going to start backpedaling on some of the presentations that I give. I am going to continue to still come on, but I am going to start backpedaling um, on some of the presentations. One of your favorite content creators, I ain't gonna say no names, kind of scolded me earlier today and said I give too much information, and that person doesn't feel like I'm being appreciated, you know, for what I'm doing. So I'm gonna kind of scale back on some of the presentations. I'm gonna still come on live, but like market analysis and stuff like that. I got a swift scolding earlier today by one of your favorite content creators. So I ain't gonna say no names, but you know, it is what it is. But I think a year is kind of steep. Um, I think 9 months are probably what most logistics companies are probably max out at. But yeah, they're all having a tough time. I talk to them. I talk to at least one company a week on a call, and think claims are up. It's either claims are up 28%. Is it? They said claims are up 20. Yeah, claims are up 28%. 28%. So it's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad right now. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough. It's rough because a lot of people that are coming into that space, they've never done this work before, and they just don't know how to maneuver the furniture or the appliances the correct way. And on top of that, they lack integrity going into people's homes. So it is what it is. All right. So I got a filter on. Let's look real quick. And I got this set up for my market, the Midwest. I always like to start with lowest. Y'all afraid of these more inexpensive trucks. Everybody want an expensive truck because they think it's gonna last them longer. And yeah, okay. Okay. So these truck prices are steady going down. They're steady going down. They are steady going down. That's a CDL. They are steady going down. This is CDL. Oh, this don't got a lift gate. That don't got a lift gate. No, this don't got a lift gate. Do it. I know that one though. I can see from right there. This one don't got a lift gate. Do it. Yeah, that one got a lift gate. What's this? 33,000, 287,000 miles. CDL required? No, no CDL. So here go a 2018 Freightliner, 33,000 with 287,000 miles on it. It's a level 2, which obviously you guys know, but for those that don't know, it meets the DOT standards and have passed Penske's pre-sale inspections. If I was in the market for a truck, this is a truck I would go look at. $33,000 is in the price range of pre-pandemic levels. This truck has a lift gate. Uh, this truck has a lift gate. Um, it is. Hold on. Come on, mouse. What are you doing? It is a non-CDL truck. It's pretty clean. Pretty clean. Let's take a look at it. Let's blow this up. Yeah, this is a truck. If I was in the market for a truck, 2018 Freightliner, I would go take a look at this truck with a lift gate. $33,000. That ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That ain't no money. clean in the back. Got your E-track system, your rails. This is somebody who's serious about the box truck space, and they want to buy in with low initial costs. Here you go. Here you go. This will put you under $1,000 a month, or right at it. Probably at under $1,000 or right at it, depending on what your interest rate is, and how long you take the loan out for. You in the money. This is the price point. Like I be telling people that they want to be looking at. Yeah, it was one of your live streams, but most of them are gone. My live streams ain't gone. What are you looking at? My live streams is up. Oh, let me go look from. Let me go look, man. Live. My live streams are up. This live stream I put on members only. This live stream from Tuesday is up. The Wiseman is up. The live stream from last week is up. All the Wisemans are up. You sure you're looking at the right channel? I know they up because the views are steady going up. The 7-figure one, that's up. Yeah. You sure you're looking at the right channel? I ain't removed none of my views. Now this is me looking at my channel from how you would look at it. All my live streams are up. My videos are up too. Yeah, my channel look mighty damn good. You might be looking at the wrong channel. Yeah, but this is a good truck though for anybody that's looking to buy a truck. This truck is in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 287,000 miles. So, those 16 footers can get the money if you don't let the one broker fill up your truck way cheaper on the gas side too. There's a lot of box trucks at auctions. Yeah, I wouldn't mess around in no auction. Not me personally. All right, so that was this one right here for 33,000. I'm not a big fan of International. Here go a nice truck for moving. Got the attic in the front. Anybody that want to start a moving company, but it's an International. I want to be a big fan of it. I guarantee you, this Freightliner, by the time I do my show next Thursday, I guarantee you this Freightliner is gonna be gone. I 100%. I'm willing to put money down that this Freightliner for $33,500, this 2018 Freightliner for $33,500 with 287,572 miles will be gone within a week. Here goes a 2015 Freightliner for $34,000. Is this a non-CDL? Yep. Let's take a look. Now this truck is a little bit older than that 2018, and it has more miles as well. About 5,000 more miles. The other one's 287. This is 293. And this one is 3 years older. This is a 15. This one don't even have a gate. This one don't even have a lift gate. This got to be a CDL right here. This look like a CDL. Yep. That's a CDL. 2018. I don't like the miles on this one. This is over my miles I would buy. It's a CDL anyway. So yeah. Look like they got one winner. They got one winner so far. You know, it might be a different story when you get there and you crank this bad boy on. But 33,500, 287, 2018. This one is worth calling or worth going to look at, if you ask me. If you ask me, it's worth going to look at. So, if you ask me. You got enough contents up to chop up a bunch of informative shorts. Yeah, that's what I'm working on next week, chopping up shorts. Um, this week I was focusing on just putting out content, you know, just to tweak the algorithm a little bit. And then I had a bunch of topics and thumbnails that I had already had made. I just, have my guy just mass produce thumbnails, and my goal is to try to put some form of content out a week, whether it's a short, a video, a live stream. It's just easier to turn the camera on and start talking. Um, but yeah, next week I'm gonna focus on some shorts. It's all good. It's all good. Appreciate you. Do you think box trucking would still be worth joining next year? Yeah, I think listen, trucking ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I know there's technology that they're working on to replace drivers and things of that nature, autonomy and stuff like that, but if that ever does come into fruition, that's a ways away. And then, with my specialty lane, you know, it can't go anywhere anyway, because with my lane of specialty and expertise, it requires at least one human. If you're doing curbside big and bulky, it requires at least 2 to 3 people. So unless they're gonna create some type of athletic robots to unload these trucks and carry these appliances and this furniture into people's home and maneuver it up and down flights of stairs and around corners and through tight doorways and tight hallways, then it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. Um, will the level of will it be harder to maneuver? Probably so. As time goes on, it's just like I talked about, a week or two ago. Early adopters are gonna always be the people who get the most out of something. The way I was able to operate coming into the space in 2010, I would not be able to operate and come into the space. The way I came into the space in 2010, if I were to come into the space as a newbie now, I would not be able to come in now the way I was able to come in then. Just things are different. Things are a lot different. A lot different. If things were the same way that they were in 2010, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you right now. I wouldn't have taken advantage of divesting during the pandemic. Or maybe I would have taken to I mean, who wouldn't want to sell off old assets for more money than they paid for them 10 years ago? That was a once in a lifetime opportunity, but that's just a testament to my business acumen. You know, taking advantages of opportunities that only come around once in a lifetime. But the point that I'm trying to make here is that as time goes on, you know, entering into this business or any business for that matter is going to be more challenging because things change. Cost of living goes up, so the cost of entry is going to be higher. If people continue to um, not want to work, especially in fields that are more blue collar, that require some level of just hands on, work. That is a challenge. That's a major challenge, and that's a challenge for industries across the board. Um, um, but the industry is going to be here. It's not going anywhere. It's just going to be a little bit more challenging to enter, more challenging to maneuver. And you have to, as time goes on, you're going to have to enter it more cautiously, more cautiously, more cautiously, more cautiously, as time goes on. Uh, uh, I was going cargo van. Let me see. Oh, y'all having a side conversation. Okay, you had that one say. All right, so you already saw that truck then. Okay, you on top of it then. Enterprise had some trucks under 40. Yeah, I was looking at Enterprise 2 days ago. I actually had a subscriber that bought a truck from Enterprise earlier this week for under 40. So yeah, I was actually on Enterprise's website the other day. Um, can you elaborate on segregation of duties in business? No one person should initiate a transaction, also approve the same transaction. I think this should be a lesson for business owners. Are you referring to uh, the topic that we discussed earlier about the Amazon worker, or are you speaking in general? Or are you speaking in general? No one person should initiate a transaction and also approve the same transaction. Well, you got to be talking about the topic at hand. Because she initiated the transaction by onboarding individuals uh and she approved the invoices for said individuals that she onboarded, whether they were fictitious or real people. Listen, in a situation like that, you know, if that business awarded said individual the power to do a multitude of different things, then that's just what it is. You know, when you run a business and when you have a business, you can run it and delegate how you want to. You know what I'm saying? The way I run my business and businesses, I run them the way I want to. If I want to delegate someone to onboard people and also delegate them to uh uh handle the processing of invoices to people that said person on boards, then that would be my right, my privilege to do so, because it's my business. I don't I don't judge people. I don't try to figure out why people, you know, do some of the things they do and how they run their business. If I see somebody doing something stupid, I may say, man, that's dumb, that's goofy, that's stupid, that's dumb as hell. But ultimately, the inner workings of people's business, I don't really get involved. I don't really think what Amazon, as far as giving her that type of power and authority, I don't see anything wrong with that. You got management that have a multitude of different duties and tasks that they have to do day in and day out. I just think that that person was just a scammer prior to coming into Amazon, and probably applied for the job, went through the protocol of getting a college degree, applying for that job, so on and so forth, just so that they could get into a position of power, so that they could take advantage and do what she did. She's what you call a career criminal. She had multiple aliases. Even after she was indicted for the $10 million fraud, while she was out on bond, she was committing more fraud to get the hookah lounge, to the point where uh 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 um she uh um she counterfeited the judge's signature. She forged the judge's signature. You forged a federal judge's signature and the federal seal of the United States of America. Like, how stupid can you be? But that's just a testament to her being a scammer. So it is what it is. You say you in Texas searching out mechanics, looking to hire one for the day. Might have to fly out there. I got a gym for diagnosing. I'm gonna probably do a video on it. I hate to keep doing videos on these companies and they not really even kicking nothing back. But I may do a video on this company for people that are in the process of buying trucks outside of their market, who don't want to, fly to the market. I'm gonna drop a gem on how you can get the truck diagnosed inside and out. So I may do that this week. See, this was I was just saying. I don't have the bread to fly out to a bunch of different cities to peep trucks. LOL. So I'm gonna do a video this week on a solution for that. If you're looking at a truck in another market, I'll talk about that. Either I'll do it either in a video or I'll talk about it in a live stream. LOL, bro, went live and I just caught the tail end. Yeah, I just decided to go live tonight. Okay, much appreciated, Marcy. I was looking at the right range. Yeah, 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 yeah. Hello, 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 hello. No problem, no problem, no problem. All right, yeah. So if it ain't no more questions, then I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I just wanted to jump on for a quick second, talk about that Amazon situation, and answer a few questions. So, don't nobody else got no other questions or nothing that you want to talk about in regards to trucking, then I'm gonna get out of here. Got the Wise Men last episode coming up this Monday. I know Kirk was in here a little while ago. I don't know if he's still in here. But the last episode is coming up Monday for season 1. Then we're gonna take a month off. Um, do you think truck prices will go further down? Um, Probably not too much further. What you looking at, right? Well, you know what? Some trucks, yeah, some of these trucks are still coming down, but we're getting to the point of normalcy. Some trucks are at, normal rates. Some trucks may be a slight tad bit above normal rates, I would say. Let's see. Let's go. Uh, Excuse me. I'm looking for non-CDL. All right, so the cheapest one we saw was a 2018 with like 287,000 miles for 33,000. So here's one, a 2015 for 36,750 with 277,000. It's older, but it's more money. Hold on. Than that one. So 36, 36, 37, 2014 International, 2018 Freightliner, 40,000 Hino 268. This one got 250,000 miles on it. Yeah, these rates are pretty much, pretty much normal. I'm trying to see if these are on the higher end. What's on the higher end? That's a 268, 2019, 300,000, 44,000, 44,000. Mm, 2016, 43,000. 2020 International 44, 45. Let me see. Let me go to the most expensive, see what they want. 2018, 50,000. 2017 Freightliner. See, here go to lower miles. Lower miles. I think these could probably come down by another 5,000. 2018, 53. It got low miles. 2017, 29,000, 52,000. They crazy if they think somebody finna spend. They want for this international. Got 138,000. They want 53. Yeah, they nuts. Oh, no way in hell. Let me see some. I'm just curious to see what their most expensive trucks is going for. 2020. They got a lot of internationals. 2017 Freight. They got a lot of trucks now. They got a lot of trucks, man. A lot of trucks. A lot of trucks, man. Look at this shit. This shit's still going. It's a lot of trucks available now, man. It's a lot of trucks available now. Yeah, it's a different ball game now, man, than it was last year. A totally different ball game. Look at all these trucks. There's a lot of trucks available. This shit's steady going. I never had to hit load more this many times last year. This is probably the most I've hit load more this year. They got a lot of trucks, man. Look at this shit. Yeah, I'm not paying 66, but these trucks got low miles. I wonder why they getting rid of these trucks. See, they got. Hmm. Yeah, they got a lot of trucks, man. I'm still hitting load more. This is crazy. Yeah, you could literally sit here and go through all these trucks. There's plenty of trucks to choose from. All right, so that's it. So a most expensive truck. These are CDL trucks. They go a reefer. They go to reefers down here for everybody that want to know reefers. These reefer trucks ain't no joke. As far as the price, you're looking about 80 grand. You got all the reefers right here. Yeah, you're looking about 80 grand. Oh, for 73, 132,000 miles. Yep. So, yeah, it's a lot of trucks available. A lot of trucks available. Good looking out. Do you think truck price will go for? I just answered that. I hate I missed that. Good night. Good night, good night. But giving her the power facilitated her scams. But somebody have to have the power. There's always going to be people in power and management. You know, a person could come in and put on a good interview, and woo and wow the upper management who's hiring her. But that doesn't mean that even though she know how to interview good, she's morally a good person inside. That's the one of the gifts of a scammer. They know how to manipulate people really, really well. That's what makes a good scammer, the art of manipulation. So it's just like anything else. The point I'm trying to make is those positions have to be filled by somebody. And it's hard to tell what a true person's intentions are. If a person has the degrees, they have the credentials, they have everything that they need to put them in that position. And granted, the things that she probably needed, as far as let's say the credentials, those items may have been fraudulent as well that put her into the position. But at the end of the day, if she has the mouthpiece to talk herself into that position to go along with the correct paperwork, then they hired her. Somebody got to fill the position. If it wasn't her, it could have been somebody else that applied that interview that interview really well, and the same shit could have happened. So it is what it is. You never know a person's intentions. We ain't got crystal balls. So it is what it is. They put her in the position and they paid the price. But like I said, she probably interviewed exceptionally well and probably had all the credentials that allowed her to apply and to be awarded and hired on for those positions, for that position. So it is what it is. Mr. Mark, what insurance I need to start once I do final mile delivery since I got a twit card? General liability, commercial auto, and commercial cargo. Nobody should be scolding Martha Mender. Hey, well, I got scolded earlier, man. I got scolded earlier, man. You know, I got scolded earlier. Said that live I did yesterday, said it was too much information, and um, I don't think that I'm appreciated, So I just listened, I'm the type of person where when if I respect the person's opinion, I'll listen, and if the person makes good sense, then I'll take heed to the advice. And, a lot of the stuff the person was saying to the down to the fact where they said they were sitting watching the live, angry, you know, all that information. I took it in and I listened and I said, I'm not gonna not do the lives. I'm just gonna scale back on a lot of that pertinent. I don't want to say it pertinent, but just like the person said, like, man, a lot of that market analysis, business plan, and all that stuff. You had to go to school to learn how to do all that. So you know, some people they get it, they appreciate it, but the masses probably don't. So scale back on it. So I'm just gonna scale back on that type of content. I'm gonna still come on, I'm still do my little education stuff. I'm just not gonna do it every single week. Every single week, I'm not gonna do it. So you might catch something like that, a PowerPoint, maybe once a month now. Maybe once a month. And then the other weeks I'll do like talk about procrastination, or talk about um you know leveraging yourself into better positions and stuff like that. But like stuff like what I did last night, you might get that once a month from me. Once a month. If her duties were separate, she would not be able to pull it off. Even if she did, she would be caught. But that her duties may be the duties of that position to bring people on and submit the payment. See, I never worked for Amazon. I never contracted with them. I never did nothing. The closest I got to Amazon was going through the onboarding process to be a DSP, in which I pulled out halfway through the onboarding process. So how they handle and deal with their management and the inner workings of that business as far as on the employee base side, I don't know. But at the end of the day, it happened. She's in jail for 16 years. That $10 million, they'll probably never get that back because she'll never be able to pay that back. And I think Amazon learned a valuable lesson, and maybe now they are going to separate that into two separate positions now based on what she was able to pull off and get away with. But she also recruited a few people, you know. But it is what it is. It was a good learning lesson, I think. For Amazon, at the end of the day, it is what it is, you know. But I get you, you know what I'm saying? I get you. What's a good way to get some time under your authority without leasing it on to someone else's authority? Just to go do work. You got to find a company. If you're running an OTR minimum amount, you got to find a broker that works with new authorities. It's just what you got to do. You got to find something that you can do with a new authority and work it until your authority ages to the point where everybody is just going to accept you with no restrictions. I mean, that's all you can do. You have to, and you need to start researching that and looking into that prior to you getting your truck, so that once you get your truck, you get your authority, you go active, you already have something lined up. A lot of people get the truck, get the authority. Once the authority goes active, then they want to start researching and trying to line up work. You want to do the researching and the lining up prior to you applying. And then while you're waiting to go active, you're still researching and applying to the point where you already have decided, look, I'm going OTR, or look, I'm going curbside, or look, I'm going big and bulky. Look, I'm going curbside. I'm going with this company. I already applied because I know my authority going to be going active in a few days. They responded to the email with everything I need. I'm just going to hold them off. I'm not even going to reply to this email. Boom. Oh, my DOT, everything is approved. My MC, everything is approved. I'm active. All right, let me respond to this email. You already know in which direction you want to go in. So getting out there, doing work, finding people that are willing to work with a new authority, which you should already know, prior to your authority going active. You kind of already know, okay, these listed companies will work with me. So let me start applying now in the hopes that when this does go active, I should be getting a call back around that same time frame. I think I'm behind in the video. Please do drop that gem, sir. Think I'm getting to them. If you behind in the video, if you watch it from your phone or you watch it from your computer screen or your iPad, just hit the live. You should see live over there. If it's grayed out, then that means you're not watching it in real time. Just tap on live and then it'll turn red and then they'll catch you up. I think I'm behind the video. Please drop that gem. I think I dropped it. Yo, did you say if you can hold off to buy a truck a few months ago until prices drop? Well, if I said that a few months ago, and here we are a few months later, and the prices have definitely continued to drop. So, now would they continue to drop? I'm seeing a lot of trucks that are right where they should be. So I think right now, from the prices that I've seen, I think now is a good time if you're in the market to go buy a truck. The prices that I see are good prices, pre-pandemic prices. The way I would buy a truck, a lot of people ain't gonna buy a truck the way I would buy a truck. Me and Kirk was talking about that the other day. We tell people how they supposed to enter into the space. We talk about low initial cost, low overhead. We tell people what trucks to buy, what trucks not to buy, what trucks are going to give you problems, what trucks have historically known to give people problems versus the trucks that are historically known not to be so much of a problem. And people go do what they want to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, we tell people, you want to come in with a low initial cost, so maybe buying a brand new or newer truck may not be the thing. That $33,000 Hino that we saw up here, I'm going to look at this truck. Me, if I'm on the market for a truck, I'm not way down here. I'm not way down here. I'm not down here. You see what I'm saying? I'm not nowhere near down here. I ain't looking at none of this. That's why I filtered lowest to the highest. See, me, I'm up here. I'm up here somewhere. I'm up here. I'm going to look at this. 33,005, 2018 with 287. It's a level 2. I'm going to take, we driving up to Milwaukee. It's an hour and 15, hour and 25-minute drive. I'm going to take my mechanic and we're going to look at this truck. What's wrong with this truck? Man, it need this, it need that, it need this. All right, ain't nothing wrong with that transmission. Nah, transmission sound good. It sounds strong. Ain't nothing wrong with that engine. Nope. The engine look good, look strong. Man, it need this. I see that. This probably gonna go out. That starter might go out. This alternator, whatever. You might want to replace this. It's kind of shaky when I drove it. You might need to switch some hub bearings and some tie rods or some all that stuff. To me, that goes in one ear and out the other. You know why? Because that's not no issue. That's not no issue to me. If I don't hear anything about that powertrain, if it ain't nothing to do with that damn transmission and that damn engine, if I hear the word strong, man, the engine's strong. That transmission's strong. That's all that matters. Everything else to me is a drop in the bucket. I don't care about none of that stuff. Hub bearings and fuel pumps and all this shit. That shit is nothing. Nothing. So if I could save $20,000-$30,000 and I gotta put $4,000 or $5,000 into it, whoop de doo. Whoop de doo. Whoop de doo. So, I understand what low initial costs. I never experienced high initial costs because I came into the industry poor. I came in poor. I started with a pickup truck and scaled up. So, I don't see how some people come into the space. Like last year, like people was telling me what they were renting for trucks. Mm-mm. 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 Nah. Mm-mm. I'm gonna go get me this. I'm gonna go get this bad boy right here for 33. Then I'm gonna be like, man, how that lift gate? Man, it's strong. It's strong. It look good. It feel good. Oh yeah, this. Oh, and then once he give me that word, oh, this a winner. This a winner. All right, let's go in this office and let's talk these numbers. Let's talk these numbers. It's 33 ain't nothing. That ain't nothing. That's about 800 a month. It's about 800 a month. Mm-hmm. That's nothing. Mm-hmm. Vincent, without just paying for the cheapest insurance, you can get 750,000 monthly. I'm not sure. There's a way. 2017 International Durstar 4300 Cummins engine, Allison transmission, 235,146.35. Well, you saw that at on Enterprise, or you saw that at Penske? I don't really like internationals. Once the 21 days are over your average approved, do you have to have insurance even you haven't bought your truck yet? You can't get insurance if you haven't bought your truck yet. If you don't have a truck, what are they going to insure? By law, they can't write it. By law, they can't write up a policy on something that you don't own or you're not financing. So no, you can't have insurance until you actually acquire the truck. The day you acquire the truck is the day they can write up and cover you on the insurance. They can't insure you when, the title hasn't switched hands or you don't have a finance agreement. So, once you acquire the truck, then you could go ahead and put insurance on it. Same way with your car. Then you can't go say, "Oh, I'm finna go get a Benz. I want to put insurance on it." They're gonna be like, "Well, man, we need the VIN number, we need this, we need that." You may get to the dealership and want a Benz E class and end up getting talked into getting a Benz S class. So they can't, put nothing on it until you actually acquire the vehicle. Uh, 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 your free content kills a lot of courses. Yeah, I think that's why some people creators don't really, don't nobody mess with me. So I can't even say don't care for me. I had one little situation where I think that might have stemmed from, you know, the content I put out. But for the most part, people don't mess with me. Um, all that bullshit that goes on in this community, that back and forth and who's better than who has more money than who has better this and better that. I don't get mixed up in that. I think when other creators look at my content and the information that I provide and the knowledge base, they can't do nothing but say, "Well, dude, know what he talking about." because what happens then it becomes a information war, a debate, and don't nobody want to be made out to look bad. So I think for the most part, that's why a lot of these creators that go back and forth, they don't mess with me. So what up? What up? What up? You think you got the insurance figured out? Hey Marcus, I'm gonna drop this link before I go. I'm curious to ask you a few questions about that truck you bought. I'm gonna drop this link real quick before I get out of here. I want to ask you a question because I'm curious to know why you bought that truck. Uh, I signed up with T Force with my car just to get in. Congratulations. Uh, yeah, I don't like. I wouldn't know what to look for. I ain't no mechanic. But if you're in Chicago, I can give you a reference. Let me get Mr. Marcus on here real quick. Mr. Marcus. Mr. Marcus. Mr. Marcus. Hold on, let me assign you real quick. Let me assign you real quick. Give me 1 second. Mm, hold on. Hold on a second. Let me push you back. Let me do something else because I got some other stuff going on. Hold 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 on. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. Give me a second. 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 Let me see. I gotta assign you there. There we go.
What
How
up,
you
Mark?
doing? What's going on?
Can you hear me?
I hear you great.
I bet.
So
So, you got a question
you,
about that truck,
me and Kirk talked to you about trucks.
right?
We told you what works and what doesn't,
Uh
and what did you do?
huh. Nah, man. I did search for the Henos, man. I searched high and low, and
I told you Freightliner though. I didn't tell you Hino.
looked at
Kirk
those
is an
too.
advocate for Hino.
Hold on. Did it stop?
Did what stop?
Man, what happened?
I see you and I hear you. Hello?
It froze up on me.
You hear me now?
All right, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right, my bad, man. I just got this new phone today, man. I'm still trying to figure it out. My fault. Um,
Hmm.
no, man. I searched all around, man, and um, I know y'all ain't a big fan of the international, you know what I'm saying? But what I did is I got the service warranty on it. So it's covered for the next 2 years at 100,000 miles with a $350 deductible. So and then
So
I got the powertrain, and then I got the DEFCON warranty as well.
okay, but I just went through about 200 trucks at Penske Freightliners for less than
Uh-huh.
what you paid for. So where was you searching?
Man, I've been all over, man. Like locally, going to places. You know what I'm saying? I checked Penske. I was dealing with a chick from Ryder out here, and every time she sent me a group of trucks, like the couple that I would pick out, I hit her back and she was like, they gone. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was just my luck or what, but man, I've been searching all over. That's why I've been hitting you and Kirk up like that. You know what I'm saying? But I found this one, man. Like I said, the price was decent. It's a level one. Um, I think off the top of my head, I think it has some like 240 some thousand miles on it. It's a 2020. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It just kind of worked out. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, with that service warranty on it, I mean, if something go bad, you know what I mean? $350 out of my pocket. You know what I'm saying? So that was a little peace of mind right there.
So the truck you got it's yeah, I was trying to show it on the screen.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to share the screen, but I don't know if I can share it with you on here. Hold on, let me see. Let's see. Show. Nah, it ain't gonna work like that. Hold on, I gotta figure out how to. Let's see. Hold on, how can I share it? Mm, hold on, let me see if I can do it like this. Give me 1 second.
Oh, take your time, man.
Let's go here. Nah, that ain't working either. Hold on. I still don't know how to use this damn. Nope, that ain't
And
work
while,
either.
while you're doing it, just to let you know, like, we haven't actually bought it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we got the, he hit me up this morning, the finance dude, said everything's been approved. So
Uh-huh.
we we did sign the one initial where they send you the what is it, the e-doc where you do so I signed up for the $1,500, to put down on it,
Mm-hmm.
and so as far as like, but we haven't closed on is what I'm trying to say. So
Can you see the screen now?
I got mine on big, so I'm just seeing myself. Actually, I didn't want to touch nothing
Oh,
because I didn't want to get kicked out again.
okay. So I'm showing the chat, the truck you bought. Um, you there? Oh no, he hung up. But this is the truck he bought. 2020 International MV. You hold on 1 second. And then oh, let me go back. Let me bring him back up. Let me bring him back up. Yo,
All right, I
yeah,
bet I can see it.
you can see it now.
I did a second ago,
You
but now I can
did.
just see.
What
Yeah,
about now?
there it
No.
is. Yep,
Yeah.
yep,
So this is the truck, right?
yep.
Yep. So you paid 39.8 for it.
He gave it to me for 37. Yeah.
So now you gotta fly down to Oklahoma to get it.
Yeah, I checked the flights, man. So they're only $99, and then I got like 60 some thousand in points, so it won't cost me none. It just, I mean, the gas to come back. You know what I'm saying? But the flight is free. So
250,000 miles. Where's the engine? You got the Cummins and the Allison combo.
yeah, and then like I said, I got the service warranty, but also my brother-in-law, he's best friends with one of the head mechanics out here, so he's got the software for the
Okay.
Cummins. You know what I'm saying? So um and I asked him about the other, because I know you had talked about the Chevy 65s and the 75s and all that. I'm telling you, I
Hmm.
looked into all that, bro. And
Well, I
one
wouldn't recommend those for you.
uh-huh,
Those are trucks that was getting when I was buying
yeah,
years ago. But now I wouldn't. If I was buying trucks now, I wouldn't buy the
yeah.
C6500, C7500.
But I'm just
But
showing you, like I looked at everything, like everything Kurt told me. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Um, But like I
but
said, man, like all
but
the
it's plenty
Hino,
freight. It's plenty of freight liners out here though.
uh-huh. I
That's
just
why that's why
like
I'm confused on.
I saw some, like down in Arizona. I think
What
I
about
saw
here? Why you didn't look in this market? Look at that. This was 33.5.
what year is that?
2018. 2018.
I don't want to touch my screen and lose it again, man.
You don't see this. You don't see the screen now.
I can see it. I was just trying to expand. I got the details now. Okay. Um, let me see. And where is this at?
This is in
Uh,
Milwaukee.
See, and that was another thing, man. I didn't want no trucks that was from the Midwest or the East Coast with the salt
Why?
and the rust, and all that.
Man.
Hey, man, I'm from Michigan, bro. You know what I'm saying? So,
Okay. What that mean?
nah, I just didn't want no rust. You know what I'm saying? Up under there, and
Here we
I'm
go.
just
Here we go. See,
nah.
this what I be talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Nah. I looked
Wow.
at it.
It's a work truck, man.
I
It's a
get
work
that,
truck.
bro. I get that. It's just, man. I looked at like a lot of them trucks. I look in the pictures and like the engine bays and all that.
Uh-huh.
In the engine bays, I would see all that rust around like the motor mounts and all that. And to me, that was just a red flag, man. Like I didn't want to come into the game and have to get something replaced. Something major.
Okay.
So I mean, I just kind of weighed everything, you know what I mean? Because like the dude at first he came back, he was like, "Yeah, I got you pre-approved with a soft pull for 90,000," and then when he did the hard pull, he came back for like 150. But he said we had because I don't have any background experience. He said I had to, even though I had the strong credit, I didn't have the background. So he said I
Background
had
experience for what?
in the box truck
Wait a minute. You
business.
gotta have background experience to spend your money? What are you
I'm
talking
I'm just
about?
I'm just repeating what he was saying. You know what I mean? The
Man,
finance guy.
that sound like some bullshit.
Yeah,
You
that's why I'm running it.
if I go to a dealership and I want to buy a Lamborghini Urus
Right.
and I got the credit or I got the cash to buy it outright and write the check or whatever.
Uh.
I got the credit. I got an 800 credit score and I got the bread.
Right.
Well, man, you ain't that's like saying, man, well, you don't have the background that, you ain't never drove a $250,000 car. So what? I
I
got the
feel you,
money.
bro.
So
Like,
what does it matter? So you buying a truck, you buying a truck. So they said because you don't
right.
have the trucking background, what?
Yeah. He said so. Since I didn't have that, I would have to come with 20% down in the first and last payment. So, and then even when like that's what I was saying in the chat that I think I got the insurance figured out finally. Even that guy was saying the same thing that I didn't have the experience. I mean, he still gave me a pretty good rate. He got me the
The,
$1 million
the,
policy.
the insurance
Go
makes
ahead.
sense. The insurance makes
Okay.
sense,
Yeah.
because they're insuring you. They're insuring liability. So
Right.
yes, you ain't never did this before.
Right.
You know, you may have claims. You
Sure.
old
Sure.
enough to drive responsibly, but there's a claim aspect there. You ain't did this before, so you have higher liability. And this is something that's
Right.
new too. That verbiage and stuff didn't exist prior to the pandemic, especially for older person was coming into the space, then it
Hmm.
just was what it is. But when you going out buying something, if you got the credit, you got the capital, and you got the resources as far as the credit, the money to obtain a vehicle. Who cares
Right.
if you got the history, the experience or not?
I feel you, man. It's just that's what the finance guy was saying. So, he was
If,
saying
if
because
that's
of that.
true, then if that's true, then that's further a testament to what I was saying in the chat earlier. Like, man, that that don't make no sense. I hear you. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but
Right. Right.
that's weird.
No, I could shoot you a screenshot of the
No,
paper like
I
I did.
believe you. It's just weird
You
to
know what I'm
me.
saying? Yeah. Oh, I
So
feel you.
so
Called me. But
Hmm.
I mean, it still worked out, you know, because you know we was gonna drop some bread on it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, um, you know, it all worked out. So, and then like on the insurance, like I was saying, I got the $1 million policies as far as like the collision, driver, drivers who don't have insurance and whatnot. And
Yeah.
then they put 100 on the cargo. Does that sound
Right.
right, or do I
Right.
think I
Yeah.
need
Yeah. Yeah.
more?
No,
Okay.
100 for the cargo, 1 million for the commercial auto, and 1 million for the general liability.
Yeah. Then he gave me like 5,000, up to 5,000 on roadside assistance, and they would reimburse me and
Wait,
whatnot. But
what?
he gave,
You
yeah,
said how much for roadside assistance?
up to 5,000.
How much is your policy a month?
680. It was like
That's it.
yeah, it's like nah, because it was only like $100 more than that messed up one I sent you the first time. That dude didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? When you kept saying it's light. Let me say what's
Yeah.
up to my son. Got home. What's up, boy? This on live, so you probably don't want to be on this camera. All right, man. But
Yeah.
nah, so I went back to this cat today, and he hit me late this afternoon. Actually, I was going to get this phone right here, and he said he broke it down for me. So yeah, 680 a month, man. I think 682 to be exact. So
That's cheap.
yeah, I mean, like you said, I'm a little older. My driving record straight. You know what I'm saying? So
But with you being
um,
older, what was the script about you not having experience?
now that he talked about that, just not having the experience. But when he came back with that rate, I couldn't even. It wasn't nothing for me to really try to argue. I was like 680 a month. I was like, I hear on these cats paying like 1,500 a month. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't even argue it. I was like 680. That's a bet right there. You know what
And
I
this is
mean?
for
So
this for general liability, 1 million in general liability, 1 million in commercial auto, and 100,000 in cargo, right?
yo, exactly. Yo.
And this is what with
So
progressive.
the first one was with Progressive. This is from man. If I don't want to mess this. I don't. If I go in my phone, man, I'm gonna lose you. You know what I'm saying? I
What it
was trying to
start
go.
with? What letter it start with?
I'm trying to see if I printed it out here. I may not have printed it out because he hit me this afternoon when I was headed to the mall, to the iPhone store. I might not have printed that out yet, but I can. I'll shoot it to you. I know you're on live right now. You probably want to see it now, but if I get off this phone, man, it's gonna mess up on me, man.
You don't remember the name of the
um,
insurance company?
uh, it was through a broker. He's out of Idaho.
Mhm.
Um,
Was it like
yeah.
Byberg or something like that?
Man, you gonna make me lose you, Mark.
Don't
Uh,
worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'll
Don't worry
shoot it
about
to
it.
you. I'll shoot it to you.
All right.
I shoot just like I did the other one. I showed you everything. You know what I'm saying? I'll shoot it to you again. But nah, that's the way he broke it down. It's in my email.
Yeah.
If you want me to go check it and then you bring me back in, I'll
Yeah,
do it.
I'm just curious to know what company it is.
All right,
You
pause for
said
a second.
680 a month?
Yeah, pause for a second.
Okay. 680 a month. Let's see. While he's looking for that, my truck took a dump in June. The clutch and some other transmission parts failed, and it took a while to get fixed. Mark, can you use a VIN from any truck to get an insurance quote? Yeah, you can. It's $1,200 a month from Progressive. Decent. That's about average from, and just the general consensus of everybody that tells me how much they pay for insurance. 1,200 is like around the average point, I would say. What 2015 Freightliner? How old are you? How old are you, Heavy Goodman? Mark, can you ask him how much he is paying for the warranty for that truck? I ask him when he come back up. Uh, Uh, oh, try to get back into find my. I've been looking. Oh, well done, interstate screw. I learned from someone that these dealerships hire people just to come up with reasons on why not to credit fix potential issues with an extended warranty. Did he grab it sight unseen or did he previously go down there? No, he grabbed it sight unseen. He didn't see it in person. He just saw it on the website and bought it. Why buy a rusted out tow matter if there are plenty of rust free trucks? Who's to say it was rusted? Here's the thing, I live in Chicago. So rust don't scare me. Rust don't scare me. Um my personal vehicles, obviously I park them inside, in a heated garage, but my trucks are outside. My trucks are rusted under the bottom because that's just the element of the weather. If I can save $10,000, I'm gonna save $10,000. Rust don't scare me because guess what? The trucks are working perfectly fine. You know what we do with rust? We chip away a little bit. We go to Walmart. We get a black thing of spray paint and we spray paint it. And that's just what that is. Like I don't
And I
see.
lose them.
No, you didn't lose me. Hold on. See what I know and what a lot of people don't know. I just told them I ain't losing. And I say it all over and over and over and over and over again, no matter how much I reiterate myself that this is a low margin business. Everybody still wants to go in with high initial cost. And then once they go in with high initial cost and they start sinking, they can't figure out why. Because your cost is high. The margins are small. So
Oh man.
I said over and over and over again. I've only had issues with the new vehicles. I bought two new vehicles, and one of them I had an issue with. All my used vehicles, I've never had any major issues. Uh, I'm responding to a comment in the chat. Uh, so they were saying somebody because I was telling you about the you said you wanted to avoid rust, and I'm just like, well, man, if you could save $10,000, what
No, no, I
I
can
mean,
still hear you.
because here's the thing, you in Denver,
I know.
so it's gonna rust anyway.
We don't put that salt on the roads out here.
So what y'all use for the snow?
They man, first of all, we don't get a lot of snow out here. When y'all see that on the news where we get snow, man, that shit gone in 2 3 days. We back in t-shirts, man. But they put magna chloride on the ground out here when we do get ice, so we don't get that rust. And like
That
I
those
said,
little white pebble balls looking things? Is that what that
they
magnet chloride stuff is?
they kind of mix it in with the sand. You know what I'm
Yeah, it's
saying?
like
You'll see it.
little white ball. Is it white?
They might be. I'm not really sure because they mix it in with the sand. So,
So they
but
put
yeah, we
sand down.
yeah we don't put that salt on the roads out here. That's why you don't see no rust on cars out here unless they drove that mess in from somewhere else.
So
So
so so y'all get what, a foot of snow, 2 feet of snow?
see, that's the thing, man. Like we'll get dumped on 11, 12 inches, and that's what y'all will see on the news. But man, in 2 3 days, we in t-shirts, man. Like if you look, I mean, we get over 300 days of sunshine a year. You know what I'm saying? So, and being a mile higher, closer to that sun, like I'm telling you, man. Like if you even looking at my skin complexion here, it's totally different when I lived in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't
So
got no. Our winters are great out here, man. But yeah, they don't put that on the roads.
so what does sand do? Sand melts the snow? That
Nah,
seem
and
like
nah,
it'd be messy.
I don't know the science behind. I think they use excuse me. I think they use it for the traction. I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying? So I know they mix the magna chloride with the sand in the dump trucks. They put it on as they
Hmm.
plow after they plow. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
they don't put the salt on there like back home, man. So and that's just a personal preference for me. You know what I mean? You know, everybody got their little
Yeah,
pet peeve.
I
You
ain't
know what I'm saying?
see. I need to make as much money as possible.
I feel you, bro. I hear you,
I,
and you know. I listen to everything you say. It's just, you know, some things. I don't know.
You
You
going on
know,
TR?
nah. Just I'm trying to do curbside final mile.
When you going to pick the truck up?
Like I said, they send me. That's what I couldn't find the insurance because I still gotta set up my emails on my new phone and whatnot. So I can go out to that one in the garage, man. That phone's so raggedy, you know that from when I was trying to get in before. But
Don't
he
worry
sent
about
the
it.
he sent the e-docs for us to sign, and then he was talking about that they can have everything.
Mhm. What lost him again? Yeah, man. Rust, but rust don't really. The rust don't scare me. Like I said, all my trucks are rusted. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast here. You know what I'm saying? So just spray paint them at the bottom. That's it.
Man, my bad, man.
It's all good.
I'm still trying
Somebody
to
had a
I'm trying to
question.
trying to get used to this joint, but nah, he was
Somebody had
saying
a. Mhm.
that if we get the power attorney and all the e-doc signed and whatnot, and get the insurance that we can pick it up next week. So
Okay.
um, I I got that company's name that you and Kirk was talking about to
Yeah.
go have them check the truck out.
Hmm.
So I'm trying to have one of the local mechanics in Oklahoma go check it out on Monday or Tuesday.
You
And
bought
if
it already now, right?
I mean, for the most part, like I said, I've only
What?
given them the 1,500 down. So if I walked away,
S-
obviously I would lose the 15.
So you
You
ain't
know what
bought
I'm
it yet.
saying? No, that's what I was saying earlier. The like all the financing, that's what he hit me up this morning and said all the financing is approved. And that's when he was saying, you got to get your insurance. So that's when I went on the insurance hunt. So I got all the documents in the email, like the e-documents for the power of attorney and all that. So they just waiting on me to sign it. You know what I mean? And so I just happened to jump on, YouTube, and I saw you was live, so I hopped in right quick before you bounced out. But
Hmm.
so yeah, I mean, I'm gonna buy it. You know what I'm saying? So that's the
Hmm.
plan. But I just feel, with the warranty, you know what I'm saying, with the roadside, and then with the dude's name is Larry. He's the head mechanic at one of the Ford dealerships out here, but he's got, the software. I think I should be all right, you know what I mean? And like I said, the deductible is $350, you know what I mean? And that's the powertrain and the DEF system. Like me, I'm more concerned with that DEF. I mean, the training, obviously that's important, but that
Hmm.
DEF system, man. I mean, that you can come out of pocket for that. So to have that kind of peace of mind, and we got an international um, dealership right here in Commerce City, up the way. So
Hmm.
it just kind
So
of worked out best. You know what I mean?
somebody wanted to know how much did you pay for the warranty?
Uh, I think I got it. Give me one sec. I know I got that right, guy, because I wrote that down. Yes, I thought I did.
Well, you didn't pay
I
for it
want,
yet, but they charging you
yeah,
for it.
yeah, I know what you're saying. I think I want to say because the way they do it, you could break it into one or two. So you could do the powertrain, or then you could do
Hmm.
the DEFCON with it, but you can't do the DEFCON by itself. So I want to say it was around the $4,000 mark,
Hmm.
and that got me 4,200. That got me 2 years or $100,000 or 100,000 miles. So doing local, obviously the 2 years probably gonna come first. I'm guessing. So I probably won't even see the 100,000 miles. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
just coming into the game. Um, just having that peace of mind, with the warranty and all that, you know what I mean? Like, that's
Hmm.
kind of why I just went that route, man. And plus, like I said, what I was finding, I didn't want no headache, man, as far as driving something back in the motor blow, tranny drop. I don't know, man. So I figured doing it this way, then having that company y'all suggested go down there next week on Monday, check it out.
Did you call
Hopefully
him?
I'm
Did you contact him yet?
Yeah, I called them, so they're gonna try to. They said they can try to get down there Monday or Tuesday, so they're gonna hit me back on Monday. but
Mm-hmm.
I'll touch base with them Monday morning just to make sure we're on the same page. But so, like I said, even if like say he comes back and say, "Man, nah, don't mess with this truck." If I'm out of 1,500, that's cool. It's better than being out of the whole 37. So, I mean, I ain't trying to come in the game blowing money, but at the same time, I'd rather take a small hit up front than a major one down the way. So,
What's the
just my,
estimate? What they estimate you for your note?
uh, the note was, I think it was like 1236, 1239, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then when the 682, I'm going off the top of my head. I think he said 682 a month for the insurance.
Mm-hmm.
So probably a little over two G's.
Mm-hmm. Right at
So
about 2 grand. Yeah.
yeah, you know what
Yeah.
I mean. So
Well, now you gotta face Kirk. You know how he feel about them internationals. I don't really care. That's your, that's your. That's your. But he.
right,
You know.
nah, dude, I'm telling you, dude. I looked at Max, Hinos, Freightliners. I mean, I looked at them all, man. Volvos. You know what I mean. But like I said, he dropped it down to 37, so he took 2,400 off of it. Um,
You never saw the truck in person, right?
I have not, nah. So that's why I was trying to send the company over there. But I mean, obviously pics can be deceiving, you know what I'm saying? But just comparing all the ones that they had and whatnot, like that's the one that I was attracted to. So
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I'm not, a fan of international, but Kirk despises them. So, so
right,
you know,
right. Just all right. Well, let me ask you, what is it you don't like about them?
I just don't like them. I just don't like them.
No doubt, no doubt.
Personal preference. The stuff I like, people probably on here probably wouldn't even know what I'm talking about. You
Right,
see what I'm
right,
saying? So, I like the old GMCs, the
right.
C6500s. You know
No
what I'm
doubt.
saying? But I'm just not a big fan of international. I
I hear.
prefer Freightliner.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But internationals, I've had my dealings with them. They just I just don't like them.
I hear
So
you. I
I don't
mean,
hate
like,
them. I just don't like them. So
right. I mean, like me, like my pickup. Every pickup I've had has been a Ram. You know what I'm saying? But I talk to
mhm,
people like my brother-in-law. He's a Ford dude. He hates Rams, but I
mhm.
mean, his Ford's always in the shop, and my Ram always in the garage. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you said, it's a preference. You know what I mean? And as far as
Mhm.
box trucks, I can't really even give you an opinion on that because the only time I've driven a box truck was for like renting something to move. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
so anything that I jump in, it's gonna be new to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? So, um, but like I said, with the warranty, and like I said, that depth was my main thing, man. That can get pricey. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
having that warranty, having that roadside,
Mhm.
hopefully I'll be straight. And if not, take my lumps and keep moving. But I just like here locally, man. I'm telling you, all the Hinos, man, they 62 and above, man. Like I think I found one Hino that was like 38, but the thing had like 400 some thousand miles on it, and I know they, I know they subject to get X amount of miles, but I can't buy none. I can't buy nothing with 400 some thousand miles.
Kirk is a big fan of Hino. I think Hino is cool, but if I was on the market for a truck right now and I had to choose between Freightliner and Hino, I would choose Freightliner. And it's a Hino dealership like not too far,
Mm-hmm.
right out here on 39th Street. We got like two or three Hino dealerships in Chicago. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So a service center wouldn't be an issue,
Right.
but I have a shop that I've been dealing with for over 10 years now, my essays. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I'd rather take the truck to the essays, but I know they don't have the software. That's why I would go with Freightliner. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Because I could take it to Jaime and he gonna have it for about a week, but
right,
I got a relationship with
right,
him. You know what I'm
right,
saying? And I that's why I would ultimately choose if I was in the market right now, Freightliner, because I would want to continue to service that truck while I service the rest of them. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
And that's the thing too. Like I was saying, Larry, like he's an SA. You know what I mean? So he got
mhm.
the software for that joint. You know what I mean? So, um, that was another thing to think about too. You know what I mean? So, I
Mhm.
don't know, man. Hopefully it'll work out. You know what I'm saying? And if not, like I said, the warranty's giving me a little peace of mind, and then, hopefully I had to have a problem where I got to pick a different brand next on the next one.
See,
I
see,
hope I had that problem.
I don't know what it's like to come into the space rich. See, y'all
I
all
ain't,
coming into the space rich. I came into
nah,
the space poor. You know what I'm
nah,
saying?
man.
Y'all financing trucks and all this.
Nah. I'm trying to get like you and Kirky fresh
Buying
going.
man. You know how much I paid for my first truck?
You told me.
Okay.
You told me.
All right. I
But
still
and that
got
was,
it. I still
but,
got it.
but
I
check this
probably
out
won't never
too.
sell it.
Right. Check this out too though. Some of them logistics companies,
Hmm.
they don't want nothing. I've been seeing online. They don't want nothing more than 7 years old.
They say that. They say a lot of
Oh,
stuff. You
okay.
know how
See,
many
that's what I
logistics?
was.
You know how many logistics companies I've had people running freight in that didn't have a profile in there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know how many logistics companies don't accept certain backgrounds, and I've had people running in there.
Got you.
The thing
Yeah, let
is,
me get
they want the freight. They want the freight moved.
right.
So
Let me grab.
you said what?
I gotta grab my charger.
If I got a guy who's running a route who has gone through the onboarding process, who has a driver profile with that logistics company, and he calls off that day, and I send somebody else to cover that route, you
Mm-hmm.
think they say, "Who are you?"
Oh, okay.
No, I'm
Yeah, I
I'm
got.
I'm so and so. I'm here to cover this route. Okay, go pull up to door number 12.
Right, right.
They
Yeah,
don't care about none of that.
I was just going off what I read. You know what I'm saying? So I
Yeah, I
started doing the
mean,
math, and
they
I'm
say a
like,
lot of
man,
they say a lot of stuff.
okay.
You come to any of
I'll
these
just
logistics companies, you see '04, '03, '05, '06, '07. Like a lot of the Hispanics, they like to use the GMCs and the
I see
70s.
that.
Like
I
the
see that.
GMCs, like I got some C6500s. You know what I'm saying? That's the
Mm-hmm.
that's the vehicle of choice in this market for final mile and
Right.
moving. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So, uh uh ain't no issue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They
Right.
say that, but at the end of the day, man, the freight got to get moved.
Yeah, I feel you on that. I was
You know
just
what I'm
going off
saying?
what I
So,
read on their sites, man. So
oh yeah,
I start.
you wouldn't know because you ain't inside. You ain't on the
Right.
inside yet. You see what
Right.
I'm saying? But
Yeah. So I was like, man, if I buy 2017, we already in 23, about to be in 24. You see what I'm saying? I was like,
mhm.
man, I can't. I gotta get some, 220 or above, man. So that was another thing. Like, it wasn't like I just was like, I ain't gonna listen to you and Kirk. I mean, there's a reason I tune in every. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
Kirk told you to go get a Hino. I didn't tell
I
you to go
know,
get a Hino.
right?
I just
But
said, you probably want to stay away from international, and that's because I'm just not a fan of international.
right,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? But I mean, you
Yeah,
got it. So you just,
I'm about to put this bad
hopefully,
boy to work.
everything work out for you. Just, keep your fingers crossed. Make sure you do all your preventive maintenance, and
Right, right,
if you, don't take nothing for granted. If you hear something, you know, go see what the problem is. Don't let it, continue on, because a small problem turn into a big problem.
right, right.
So You know,
No doubt.
it is what it is. What it is now. So I guess you gonna pull the trigger Monday?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, old boy going to check it out. I'm gonna touch base with them in the morning, but um, yeah, I think I'm gonna grab it. You know what I'm saying? I got, like I said in my email, I got all the docu signs. They just waiting on us to signs to sign everything. So, and then they'll snatch the money out the account and whatnot. But like I sent them the the voided check with the count and all that on there. I sent them all that
Let,
crap. So
let me ask you this question because I've seen this pop up a few times in the chat. You know, it's for
what
people in
up?
the concern in the chat that you just bought it. Online without flying out to the market to take a look at it. Like, what drove you to do such a ballsy move like that?
Nah, man, that's a good question. That's normally I wouldn't do something like that. You know what I mean? But um, here's the thing, man. Like I'm a halfway intelligent cat, but at the same time, I ain't no damn mechanic. So if I did fly out there, what am I gonna look at? You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm just keeping it 100 with you. You know what I mean? Like again, like I'm an engineer. You know what I mean? So I ain't no dummy, but I'm not a mechanic. I'm damn sure not a diesel mechanic. You know what I mean? So if I did fly out there, test drove it the whole nine, what am I gonna find? You know what I mean? Just what am I gonna find?
So,
So
so the
I
company
was
said they'll go out there Monday, right? Or
yeah, and
Tuesday or
then
something
like
like that.
also, and then enterprise, they give you that 30-day, 3,000 mile. You know what I mean? So um and then that's the thing too, like when I go out there,
You gonna burn half of the miles driving it back home.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm just saying, but when I get out there, like I don't have to buy it. Like we still got paperwork to fill out, and they still got to grab the dough. You know what I mean? Like I still would have to pay them. So like he sent me a thing breaking down like at certain points, like if I back out of the deal, like
Yeah.
how I get my you know the different levels of how what types of money you get back and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So I could still get out of it if need be. And like
If
I
you back
said,
out of
like
the deal, different levels of money you get back. What you mean?
yeah,
They don't
like
give you all your bread back?
at certain points, once you hit certain points, nah, they don't. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
hey man, you need to
but
see. I don't know. See, I ain't ballsy like that. You know what I'm
right,
saying? I ain't like I don't. I gotta see it.
I
Yeah, I
feel
gotta
you.
see it. I gotta see it. You know what I'm saying? So,
I mean, honestly, man, like I could jet down there tomorrow and be back tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? And go check it out. I
mhm.
mean, I know it's Sunday. You know what I mean? But no, tomorrow's Saturday. Tomorrow's
Tomorrow
Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, but I mean, or even Monday. You know what I mean? Like I said, I would fly for free, so it ain't a big deal. But um, I'm gonna have the company y'all suggest to check it out. You know what I'm saying? And if they get the approval, bet. And if they say no, I don't mess with this, then I'm out of $1,500. I don't have $1,500 to blow. I ain't trying to say that. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm out of 1,500, I'm out of 1,500. And I go look for another one. You know what I mean? It'll be better than
Yeah,
buying the whole thing. You know what I'm
but
saying? So
you don't want to keep spending. And I'm not telling you how to buy. You know what I'm saying? I'm
now,
just just listening to you and just assessing the situation. And $1,500. I know you saying you just $1,500 is $1,500 though.
$1,500, $1,500. You know what I mean?
That look like about that's covering some of that mortgage on that house you in. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
That could go towards that mortgage. It can go 15, like a hundred, $200. That's $100, $200. That $1,500 is still $1,500. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
no question, no question.
So
I don't got.
so so you don't want to do that too many times. You see
No,
what
I
I'm
feel you.
saying?
No,
So
I'm listening to you, brother, for real. And I understand you don't like the way I did it, and normally,
I
like I
think it's
wouldn't do
I
that.
think it's too gutsy on. See, what you got to understand is you're buying a used truck after a pandemic.
Uh huh.
All right, so this is now. I'm not trying to scare you, and I'm not trying to deter you. I'm just
No, I
giving
want to
you the
hear it.
honest to God truth. You're
That's why
buying
I
a
mess with
truck. You're buying a truck after a pandemic.
you.
So it's you don't know who had it. It's a 2018. You don't know what it went through
It's 2020.
2020 to 2022 in a period for 2 years when no rental branch had any trucks at all. So this was a truck that during the pandemic was somewhere working. All right. Another issue that happened during the pandemic was a lot of people that were renting trucks that had gotten into the box truck space that were running. When these trucks were getting to the 10,000 mile mark, 7,500, 10,000 mile mark, they weren't bringing the trucks in for the PMs. That was another issue that was going on during the pandemic, which is another reason why a lot of these rental truck companies got stricter too. That was another reason they got stricter. These guys were
Right.
running Amazon Relay, they running OTR, and when they hit that 10,000 mile mark, and these companies were calling them, "Hey, we need this truck to come in for a PM." They weren't bringing it in. Why weren't they bringing it in? Because that was taking time away from whatever it was they was doing to make money.
Okay.
So there was a lot of trucks during that time period that was on the lam for that reason, to the point where the rental truck company stopped taking payments and was reporting the truck stolen because the trucks was running miles and miles and miles over the PM. So, and I'm not telling you this to deter you. I just know a little bit more because I study the industry and I've been in the industry. So, there's a lot of things that you got to factor in buying a truck, a used truck in 2023 that you wouldn't have had to factor in buying a truck pre-pandemic. Yeah, you think about the wear and tear of a rental truck. People dog rental trucks out.
Right.
But that dogging out was amplified during those 2 years.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, didn't nobody have a truck? This is 2018, right? This is 2018. So it was in their fleet during those 2 years.
That's the 2020.
Okay, same thing. 2020. So it was in their fleet them 2 years. The point I'm trying to make, it was in their fleet.
Right.
All right. So for 2 years, that truck was doing a lot of volume.
No doubt.
It was being worked aggressively, right? And we don't know if that truck belonged to somebody who wasn't, maintaining it properly, bringing it back when it was supposed to be brought back.
I see what
And
you
you had
saying.
a lot of trucks that were on the lam that were stolen because the market has shifted and the people who were renting, they just didn't have the money. Their cars were getting hit. The companies were calling them to come bring the trucks back, and they weren't bringing them back. They were running the truck on the lam. So, trucks were more abused during the pandemic than they would normally be pre-pandemic. That makes any sense.
Okay. I'm with you.
So, you have to be very careful when you're buying a truck post-pandemic that ran during the pandemic.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm
not trying to scare you. I'm not, if you want to buy the truck, that's on you. I always give people the information. I say, man, look, the decision is up to you. I'm not gonna make a decision for you. But these are, there's a lot of different parameters. A lot of different variables, I should say, that you need to look at buying a truck post-pandemic than you would prior to the pandemic. So,
no, that's why I mess with you, man. I mean, you give it raw and uncut. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's a reason I'm on here listening to you at midnight my time. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. Somebody said that sounds pretty deterring to me. I'm not trying to deter him. I'm just being honest with him. You know what I'm saying? So, if you want to go buy the truck, go buy the truck. Shit, I'm not gonna be the one to stop him. So it is what it is. But the point that I'm trying to get into him is to go look at the bad boy.
Right.
me personally, I wouldn't buy nothing blind. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I'm not gonna buy nothing blind. I'm in a market where there's a plethora of trucks. Now, some people might not like it because the trucks here got rust under the bottom, but shit, my
Right.
trucks got rust under the bottom because
I
I'm
mean,
here. You
no
know what I'm
doubt.
saying?
No
So,
doubt.
you know, but at the end of the day, every single truck that I've ever purchased, I went with a mechanic,
Okay.
and I've
Well.
entrusted the advice of the mechanic. I haven't bought anything blind. The only thing I bought without test driving it was the two new trucks I bought. And I
Okay.
went on a website to the dealer. I said, "This the one I want. Stock number, blah blah blah. I need to be at this. Put me at 6%. This is pre-pandemic. This is years ago. So
Mm,
when I'm saying these numbers, you ain't gonna get these numbers now. You know, this is where I need to be. I ain't coming until you get me at this rate.
right.
They get me at that rate. Come get your truck. All right, I'll be there tonight before you close.
I got you.
You see what I'm saying?
Um.
So I
Yeah. Yeah.
buy new trucks like that or new cars. When I buy new cars, that's how I don't go to the dealership.
Right.
I go on the website. But
Yeah. No doubt.
used vehicles, you know, you spend the day with them. Like I was spending the day when I was building my fleet. I was spending the day. Like going to the dealership, it was a day. It was a day. We
Well.
was driving that
Well.
truck all day. We was going to lunch. We would stop and eat
Right.
lunch, sit down at lunch, talk about it with the mechanic. What you think? You want when we get back there? You want to go see what test drive another one? What you think about this? We was finding the strip of land. We was gunning it, hitting the brake. We'd get out in the middle of the wherever we was at. He'd crawl up under there and hit it again and stop it. You heard that? Get out, crawl up under. Like this is
Okay.
this is like going to buy a used truck is serious business.
No
Like this
doubt.
is an
No doubt.
all day event. So
Okay.
I don't, buying it blind because a lot of people are saying that. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but since everybody's
Right.
saying something in the comment, I'm just bringing what they saying in the comment. Now I'm adding my 2 cents. You know what I'm saying?
No
So,
doubt. No doubt.
but
Well, what I can, like I said, I'm supposed to touch base with that company Monday, so I could tell them let's do it on Tuesday, and I can just fly down there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
I would if I were you, I would want to be there. So because the only
Okay.
thing they're gonna give you is they're gonna give you. I'm gonna show you. See, I'm doing. See, this is what you get this in the
I know you.
consultation.
Well,
I'm
I mess
not
with
supposed
you,
to be
Mark.
showing you this.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
But why you look for that? Let me ask you this: would having the warranty, all that, would that give you a little more peace of mind? Because I mean,
See,
if it breaks down,
I never
you know
had a
what I'm saying?
warranty on a used vehicle. Me personally,
Right.
I bought
Right.
all my every single used vehicle that I bought it cash. Wrote a
Oh,
check.
no doubt. No.
So I've never had an extended warranty. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't know what that feels like, to be honest with you. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so I'm just saying, if the trainee drops, then they're gonna put a new trainee in there. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if the train drop, yeah, you got a warranty, they're gonna put a new train in there. But
yeah.
I guess
So
that would give you a peace of mind, I guess,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that's how I was.
I never had that peace of mind. But I've never
Right.
had a transmission issue in a used vehicle. I had a
Yeah.
transmission. The transmission went out in the new truck I bought
Okay.
at 80,000 miles. You
Right.
know, and my used trucks have went well over 80,000 miles,
I
and
got
I
you.
haven't had any transmission issues. So, yeah, if you asked me, would you have a peace of mind? I'm sure you would. I'm pretty sure if I had one at the time, I probably would have had a peace of mind. But by the grace of God, over 10 years later, nothing happened. So my
Right.
mind is at peace. But if something would have happened, I wouldn't have had no alternative but to transmission ain't shit though. You know what I'm
Uh huh.
saying? The transmission ain't nothing. I
I
go
was
get a
just throwing an
transmission.
example.
I can go get a transmission for $1,000. Well, not 1,000. I can get it dropped for $1,000, and then
Mm,
whatever the transmission costs. So that I don't.
okay.
I really don't care about transmission. If anything gonna give me, nightmares is gonna be the engine.
Okay.
I ain't really worried about no transmission, but
And that's covered too. So um, that like I said, with the roadside, you know what I mean, with the insurance, you know what I mean. I was like, I'm kind of covered. You know what I mean? So they can't get, like I said, it gave me a little bit more peace of mind. But I could shoot down that Tuesday. You know, that's just a little
Yeah,
hop, skip, and a jump from here.
yeah, I would definitely shoot down there. All right,
Yeah,
let me show you something.
I
Hold on. Where is it at? Hold on a second. Earlier this year. All right, so this is what the company gonna give you. Let me share my screen.
I
Ah, shit. Hold on 1 second. Let's go here. Let's go here. You see the screen?
Yes, sir.
So when they go out, they're gonna do all this and they're gonna write a report. So the
Hmm.
reason why I'm saying you probably want to go there is because this is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get about 56 pages of this.
Wow.
So they're gonna go through it inside and out, and they're gonna give
Uh,
you a checklist. They're gonna let you know if it's satisfactory, advisory, or needs repair. They're gonna do a battery test, recalls. They're gonna give you the Carfax. Um, uh, hold on, I got another one. Give me a second. Hold on.
wow, take your time, man.
This sent
All
right. This is one of them, but this is I want to give you the one with 58 pages. I want to give you the whole one. Let me see. Uh, where, where is it at? Where is it at?
Hmm.
Secure report. 13 pages. Welcome to the trying to find. I might have. Damn, what is that? Hold on, let me see something. Let me check my email. Maybe I could pull it out of my email.
Oh, take your time.
I want you to see what you know. Let me get the report out of my email. Uh,
Charging. There you go.
58 pages, 13 pages.
Hmm.
Hmm. I was just looking at the report the other day. I don't know where I stored it at my computer. But it's
That's,
basically what I just showed you, but
uh-huh.
with a lot more pages of a lot more of the inspection. You see
Okay.
what I'm saying? So Damn, hold on, let me see something. Yeah, but you kind of get the point though. You're just
Oh
gonna
yeah,
get a
I'm
bunch
with
of pages. You're gonna get a bunch of pages, and watch. As soon as I get off the live, I'm gonna know where I placed it on my computer, man. Because I got it in my email, and then I think I downloaded it, but I don't know where I put it, man. It's somewhere on this computer. But yeah, that's what you're gonna be looking at. You're gonna be looking at a report like that, but just with a lot more check boxes.
right.
And that's what you're gonna go. That's basically what you're gonna have to go off of, uh, to determine, if you want to buy uh the truck or not. You see what I'm saying?
I'm with you. I'm with you. Everything
So,
you're saying makes sense.
so it's basically an on-site inspection report, and it just got a list of a bunch of different shit.
Right.
So, and then
Okay.
the rest of the report is basically uh uh pictures, right? Because what they're gonna do is when they go, they're gonna do a full inspection report, and then they're gonna take pictures of everything. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
They're gonna take pictures of everything. So pretty much the rest of the report that I'm not showing you, that I can't find, is just pictures of the vehicle. They're gonna take the pictures of the roof. They're gonna take pictures of the outside, the inside, under the hood, under the car, under the truck.
right.
Wherever there's imperfections, they're gonna take, close up pictures. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And then they're gonna indicate it, like you see indicated um, here in this report, where you see like exterior inspection.
Yes, sir.
Hold on, how can I blow this shit up? Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
So like right here, check all body paneling and bumper advisory, visually inspect paint finish. You know, right here is a jack and lug wrench present. Recommended toolkit if necessary. Needs repair, meaning it's not there. Visually inspect rear view mirror, day, night, and vanity. Uh, Needs repair, so like a mirror was cracked
Right.
or damaged. It's gonna give you, like, they spend time there and they give you the full scope. So, but this is what you're gonna have to go off of. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
This inspection and ultimately, you kind of wanna be there
No, that makes
personally.
sense. Everything you saying makes sense, man. Um, nah, matter of fact, I might just go ahead and just book the flight for Tuesday. You know what I mean? And when I talk to them on Monday, just let them know, man. I'll be there Tuesday. I could fly in the morning, fly out that afternoon. So, nah,
Mm-hmm.
you right, man. And I've never done this before as far as buying a vehicle. I've never driven. You know what I'm saying? But I was just trying to put all those different elements into play and was like, man, it's coming from them. I see. I wasn't even looking at the pandemic where the maintenance might have not been getting done. I was looking
Mm-hmm.
at it opposite, like, hey man, this is a fleet truck. They're doing the maintenance on. You know what I mean? That was my
It,
line of
it
thinking.
it it is a fleet truck, but during the pandemic, a lot of those owner operators wasn't taking the trucks back to get them serviced. That was a
Yeah,
whole
see,
thing going like last year, year before last.
that's
The rental truck
crazy.
companies was calling these guys to bring the truck back, and they weren't bringing them back. Some of the rental see what a lot of people don't understand is how the rental truck business works is, well, why can't I just take it to, I'm running OTR. I rented the truck. So you had people that were, let's say, lived in Atlanta, but there
Okay.
were no trucks in Atlanta, and then they found a truck that was in California. So they
Okay.
wanted to get into the box truck business. They found a truck in California. They had to fly across country. A lot of people was flying across country to get their truck.
Mhm.
So when it came time to get those miles, they had to bring the truck back to the market they rented it from. And see,
Oh.
they didn't understand how that worked. But by me once being a dealer, a U-Haul dealer, you know what I'm saying? Because I rented U-Haul trucks
Mhm.
from my warehouse for just extra revenue. Penske kind of operates like U-Haul. U-Haul is national, right? But each
Right.
state is its own entity. So you got, if you can look it up, you got U-Haul of Illinois, LLC, U-Haul of Indiana, LLC, U-Haul of Michigan, LLC. All right. So it's
Right.
broken up into different marketing companies. And then within those states, you have smaller faction marketing companies. You got marketing company 757, marketing company 759, marketing company 758. And each marketing company within the state, right, has
Mm-hmm.
their own budget,
Okay.
right? They maintenance, they service, they repair their own trucks. You have some trucks that are local trucks, right? And then you
Mm-hmm.
got some trucks that are one-way trucks. The local trucks belong to whatever marketing company that is within that
Okay.
state. Because if it's
That
like,
makes
say, U-Haul or Penske of Illinois, those trucks in that market, the budget for those trucks in that market come from that marketing company. So
okay.
if you were renting a truck in the pandemic and you lived in Atlanta and you're calling all over the country because you saw so and so goofball box truck guru say, get into the box truck business, you're gonna make a gazillion, gazillions, billion dollars. All right.
Right.
And you, man, I just got this PPP. And then you get to looking for your box truck, you can't find one, and then you find like everybody trying to get to the box truck. I can't find one. So now you calling. Now you done made it up to Illinois. You live in
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. Yeah, we got one for you. It's gonna be $2,200 a week. You don't know no
Damn.
better. Man, people was paying $2,500 a week. It's gonna be
Damn.
$2,200 a week. Blah
That's
blah
10
skippy.
racks.
When can you come up here and get it? All right, you go through the process. You come up there and get it. You drive the 700-800 miles back down to Atlanta.
Right.
Now, when it get time for that maintenance to do up, they call you. What's up, man? How you doing? How's the truck? Yeah, it's going good, man. I'm making good money. All right, man. We need it. When you think you can bring it in, man? Let's do it for PM. Oh, okay. Well, when I got to take it in? It's a Penske in Smyrna or in Athens,
Right.
Georgia. Nah, man, that truck got to come up here. You can't take it to the Penske down there. Or you can't take it to the rider down
Wow.
there. Well, why not? Ain't y'all all rider? Well, we all rider, but we different. We are the
Wow.
same, but we different. Because that truck belongs to that market, because that may be a
Okay.
local truck that they rented on a local contract rental, which
Right.
means the budget for the maintenance from that truck is coming from that market up in Illinois and not in Georgia. Now, a one-way truck, see, it's the difference. You got local trucks and then you got one-way trucks. The one-way trucks are more company-wide,
Right.
corporate. All right. And then those trucks go one way. So for
Okay.
instance, if you go to U-Haul and you're doing a local move, they're gonna rent you a truck. If you go to U-Haul and you're moving from Michigan to Denver, what you don't know from being a consumer, because you don't know the inner workings of the rental truck business, is the truck that they're putting you in to move from Michigan to Denver is a one-way truck. That truck is provided and sent out into the fleet by U-Haul of America, Phoenix, Arizona, as a one-way truck, meaning this truck can go one way across country and do one-way moves. If
Okay.
there's not a one-way reservation on this truck and you're out of trucks and someone comes in to do a local rental, yeah, you can rent it for a local rental, but if there's a one-way, he out of here. But if it's a one-way reservation that comes on cross country, then that truck can go one way. Your local trucks can't go one way. So if a lot of people was renting local trucks under contracts during the pandemic, and when it got time for those trucks to be serviced, they had to come back to that local market because that local market's budget was a lot. What the money to maintenance that truck came from that particular market's yearly budget, and that's how they balance their books. Oh man, what the hell am I doing, bro? Why do I keep messing this up? Hold on, let me see something. All right, we're gonna put that back there, and then we're gonna go here. Me. All right, there we go. All right, I guess his phone died, but Yeah, so okay, well, I guess his phone died, so it is what it is. Uh, hmm, all right. Paying 2,200 a week in a box truck is wild. You might as well be in a semi. 2,200 ain't even the highest that I heard during the pandemic. I had a lady that was paying 2,500 a week with Ryder, and then like another 1,900 for insurance. I had a guy who was paying 2,900 a month for insurance and 2,500 a month for his truck. Um, yeah, I heard some just way out. Like people was paying way out numbers during the pandemic. Way out numbers. Way. I'm so happy the pandemic and all that box truck hype shit is over with, man, because that shit was crazy. And I came in on YouTube on the ass end of it. The ass end of it. So, and just even coming in on the ass end of it, like just some of the stuff that I heard, the ignorance of some people that just lack the knowledge of not understanding what they had invested their PPP money in. It was just ridiculous. And then, they're listening to people on YouTube that had just about as much tenure as they did because they were just entering into the space themselves. But these are the people that they were listening to. Sent they goofy ass right off a cliff. And I'm just sitting looking at all this goofball shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. And even with me coming in on the ass end of it, telling people, yo, this ain't going blah 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 blah. My shit was falling on deaf ears. It is what it is now, right? Did he say what company he has insurance? No, he sure didn't. He got off the phone to go look, I think, but when he came back, he never said it. You're right. So yeah, I'm glad that pandemic shit over with. That shit was goofy as hell. Some of the shit that I heard, it was just mm-mm. Yeah, mm-mm. What's good, Mark? I'm new to your channel. Thanks for the great info. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for chiming in. Yeah, yeah. Some of that shit that was going on back then, like some of the rates, like some of the stuff that I would hear people say, some of the stuff that they repeat that people who they deem, I guess, valuable as far as information, coaching, and mentorship, stuff that they would repeat to me that they were told, uh, like, yeah, I could just go into Home Depot and ask to speak to the manager, and and once I've talked to the manager, tell them I got a 26-foot box truck, and then they should be able to, give me some loads to deliver. Like just goofball shit like that. That shit is like some of the shit that people was telling me was like the shit Shorty was saying in that video I reviewed earlier this week with Shorty. They was saying stuff way more left field than what Shorty was saying in the video I reviewed the other day when he was stealing all my thumbnails and stuff. So, and people was being taken for those rides. It is what it is, man. I don't care. Uh, yeah, you had to have proper guidance. I was blessed. Yeah, man. I'm wondering what insurance so I can cop that soon as I bought a box truck. The thing with insurance is, and this is something I always tell people: get a broker. Find you a commercial insurance broker, a good one, not somebody that you just go to and then they're gonna just tell you, oh, Progressive, because that's a lazy broker. That's a lazy broker. Find you a good commercial insurance broker and let them shop you. And that's not something that's gonna happen overnight. If you rush them, they're gonna go to Progressive. Because what happens when they shop you is, okay, you go to your broker, hey, I'm finna start this business. I just bought this truck. I got a 2018 Freightliner. They gotta shop you, meaning they gotta gather your information. You're gonna fill out a profile, and they're gonna shop you on the market. They're gonna, your MVR, your truck, the specs in your truck, all that, and they're gonna see what comes back. It's a bunch of insurance companies. The problem is people get their truck and they want to do everything right away, and the only thing that you're gonna get right away is Progressive. All right, it takes about a week to shop you, maybe a week and a half. All right, and then once everything comes back, that's when your broker can work his magic. Look, we got Grange is offering this, Mercury is offering this, National Fire and Liability is offering this. This company is offering that. That company is offering this. Or so what I was able to do is, once I sat down and I assessed everything, what I'm going to do is, and this is how my insurance is structured. I don't have one thing. I got general liability with Acuity. So my general liability is with Acuity. My commercial auto is with Mercury, and my cargo is with National Fire and Liability. You don't have to have everything under one. Insurance broker that's really working in your best interest, in your favor, they're going to shop you, and they're going to formulate a proposal to present to you that's going to ultimately save you the most money. So if that means, okay, we're going to go with this company for this company for that, this company for that, then so be it. But it takes time you have to allot the broker time to shop you on the market and wait for those quotes to come back from all these insurance companies. So that broker can look at everything. So if we go with Grange for everything, it's gonna be this. If we go with Mercury for everything, it's gonna be that. If we go with Byberg for everything, it's gonna be this. If we go with Acuity for everything, it's gonna be. If we go with OIDA for everything, it's gonna be that. If we go with National Fire Liability for everything, it's gonna be this. Or, you know what? I noticed that with Grange, if we just go with the commercial auto, and I noticed that with Acuity, just the general liability is a lot cheaper than there's still general liability there. So why don't we just go general liability with them, commercial auto with them, and cargo with them? But you gotta allot the broker time. It's just everybody wants everything hurry up right now. And I get it, you getting into the space, you bought your truck, but what I would do coming into the space, once you buy your truck, you get your insurance, and you file, you got that 21-day waiting period. So while you're waiting those 21 days, allot those 2 weeks for your broker to shop. You can't go active to the broker file you anyway. So I would want to get filed and go in efficiently as possible with the lowest, as low as low I can get initially coming into the space, with the cost of my truck and the cost of my insurance. If people are more patient, and allow the broker to actually shop them and structure them a good insurance package, they'll save a lot of money. But everybody, when I talk to everybody and they show me insurance, they got everything Progressive, everything. But man, no, you don't have to do it like that. You don't have to do it like that. So it is what it is. You wise, man. That's why I listen when I can. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Grace, what up, Mark? I've been using Progressive. Rate is decent, but best thing about Progressive is you can make a COI online yourself instead of waiting for an agent to send it. Load would be gone by then. Yeah, see, I never did OTR. So I've always had to do a lot of um, um, COIs as far as additionally insured, going into a lot of um well, you in Chicago, Grace, so you understand, like, going into a lot of these condos downtown, a lot of these condo buildings want to be added to the policy as additionally insured in case anything happens. They want to indemnify themselves by being on the policy while my company is in the building. So, I'm always having to, get a COI additionally insured, but the verbiage has to get put in there. So, with the moving and even with the delivery side, to me, it's just easier to contact the broker and then let him contact the insurance company. They write it up, they send it back to the broker, broker sends it back to me. Because I charge for that. If we're coming into your building for a move or a delivery and your building is requiring to be added as additionally insured, even though it's free, it's a request, right? And I do it free because I'm taking my time to email my broker and forward all this verbiage. I'm charging you $50. I charge for it. I charge for it. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I sure do. Mm-hmm. I sure do. And guess what? They pay it. Why? Because they need the service done. Yep. I put it in as an administrative fee. Mm-hmm. Sure do. Sure do. Because that's time out my day. That's time out my day. So, but yeah, I get you. I just, progressive is expensive. I had to do progressive 1 year. 1 year. So when I first started many, many moons ago, we were with Grange. We were with Grange, and I had everything with Grange. Something happened where I think either a truck had an accident or there was a claim. Something happened, and Grange didn't renew us. They didn't tell us. So when the policy was up, they told us at the last minute. And it was so last minute to the point where Don, my broker, wasn't able to shop my company for new policies. So he was like, man, your policy is set to expire. Grange is not going to renew it. It's set to expire in like a week and a half, 2 weeks. I don't think this is enough time for me to shop you. So you may have to go with Progressive, but let me see. He called me back the next day, 2 days later, something like that. He was like, yeah, I'm not getting anything back yet. It's going to take about a week before I get anything back. He's like, we're going to have to go with Progressive. It's going to be high, but you're going to have to deal with it for a year. And then your policy renews in June. In March, April, beginning of April, I'm going to start shopping you 60 days out, but you got to deal with it for a year. I spent $50,000 that year on insurance. I spent 50 grand. I spent $50,000. Mm-hmm. Yep. I spent $50,000 with Progressive. I hate Progressive. I hate them with a passion. The level of hate that I have for Progressive, I just hate Progressive, man. Yeah, that was probably one of the worst years as far as financially, a financial burden to me that I've ever had. Probably the biggest financial burden year as far as paying something in my tenure in business ever. I spent $50,000 that year. 50 grand. So, yeah, I just have a disdain for Progressive. So I just don't like them. But when April came around that following year, he shot me. He got me out of there. And we've been with Mercury and National Fire and Liability ever since. I've always had Acuity as my general liability since day one. So, yep. Mark, what are the signs or makings of a good broker? A broker that's going to do the work for you. See, a lot of these brokers are just going to take you straight to Progressive because that's easy for them. That's what I'm saying. A good broker is going to do everything that I said. He's going to take the time. He's going to put you out and see what comes back, and then he's going to look and assess everything. And if he has to pull from here and there to build you an insurance plan that fits the needs of your budget, then that's what he do. But a lot of these brokers, all right, I need insurance. They go straight to progressive.com and say, all right, this is the only company that is going to insure you, which is bullshit. That's just, they just lazy. Or a person goes in there like, man, I need insurance. How soon can you get it? And that's just the only insurance that you can get. Like Grace Logistics said, right here and there. All the other insurance companies, a proposal got to be written up. You know what I'm saying? Presented to you, and and your broker has to go through everything, and that takes time. It takes time. So you want a broker that's going to go to bat for you and build you the most affordable insurance package possible. I'm gonna answer a few more questions and I'm gonna get out of here. Let me see. Anyone watch the movie They Clone Tyrone? I heard about it. I finally made the purchase. Are there questions we can ask to query if they are on their shit? Are there questions we can ask to query if they are on their shit? Who you talking about? 2515, good luck, interstate school. That smart just renewed, rated 8,400 now with extra driver. It went down 1,200 from last year. Okay. Heavy, you in the D, do you have your authority? How many trucks? At that point, I was at scale, so about 15 trucks, 14 or 15. So, yep. So, but I had never paid that much prior to that. I had dropped down doing so for my trucking company, because this was on the trucking side of my business. For my trucking company, another thing my broker had did prior to that was drop me from interstate to intrastate, and my insurance went down tremendously because we weren't crossing state lines. The moving company, yes, we were, but it's two separate companies. So with the trucking company, everything was local. Everything for the most part was in the city of Chicago, in the surrounding suburbs. So once my broker, just having a conversation with my broker one day, and was just talking about, the business, and he was like, wait a minute, you don't cross state lines? I'm like, not for the trucking company, no. He said, well, why don't you just drop down to interstate? You'll save about half on the insurance. I'm like, really? I was like, yeah. It's like, if you're not crossing state lines, why pay interstate insurance? Interstate insurance is high because there's more liability, more risk, of a driver falling asleep, more risk of a driver hitting a deer, just, anything that is a liability for, over the road driving, hitting deers, falling asleep, you know, truck breaking down, having to get longer tolls, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because of those extra liabilities that come with over the road OTR driving, that's what increases the liability, which ultimately increases the cost of your insurance rate. By decreasing that liability, right, it decreases your rate because now you're local. Truck breaks down, no big deal, right? You're in the city. What are the chances you hitting a deer in the city? What are the chances you falling asleep in the city because you're not doing long, stressful, over the road, tiresome, counting sheep, looking at the same landscape for hours on hours and hours that will put a person, like all that shit, you don't get that when you're local. So because of that lessened liability, it lowers the rate on your overall insurance costs tremendously, tremendously, and that's why I love my broker, and that's what makes a good broker, a broker that educates you as well, just from having general conversation with him about the business and him taking the time to ask me how the business is doing, to have a conversation with me. If he wouldn't have been interested in having a conversation with me, I would have never, we would have never been talking about the business for him to even, wait a minute, you're not going over the road? Or why, so that's what makes a good broker too. So you want to have a good relationship with your broker. Same like you want to have a good relationship with your CPA. So but that's why it was 50,000, because interstate. So not an interstate trucking company is not interstate, it's intrastate. So 50,000 for intrastate was bad in comparison to what I had been paying prior. So what I was paying prior didn't equate up to 50 grand. So did you have to list all your drivers on the policy? Of course. Of course, of course. So the thing with drivers, during that time period when I was at scale like that, my drivers were older. So y'all met Rob already. Um, there was another driver I had, Henry, right? Um, I had Quentin, I had Deshaun. These were younger drivers, but Q had a good record. He was younger. So I had a mix of older drivers and I had a mix of like middle aged younger drivers. So I had a good balance, which ultimately, kind of balanced the rate. So a guy like Rob, who came on the channel before, being an older guy, with a like Rob's driving record ever since I've known him, even still to this day, is pristine. Adding a person like Rob to your 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 driver's list will bring your rate down. His driving record is that good. So, having a mixture of older, good qualified drivers with squeaky clean NVRs, and then having a mix of middle aged to younger or younger to middle aged drivers with good records, but their only downfall is their age. By having these older guys, it kind of balanced everything out. But um, shoot, all the way down to Obong. Like I had so many people work for me, man. I can't even remember. Andre, who else was driving for me around that time? Edwin, um, who else? Who else? Tim, um, Daryl, damn, what was the dude name with the dreads that cried all the time? I had a guy that would cry all the time. What was this dude's name? This dude cried on the day he came in for his interview. He just broke down and started crying. My brother was like, "Man, you better not hire that motherfucker, man. That motherfucker in here crying and shit. Fuck he crying for?" This mother came in and cried on his interview. What was his name? Damn, what was his name? I can't remember that guy's name. But man, this dude was crying. I had so many drivers, man, in and out, come and go. I can't sit here and name all these guys. When you hit household goods on your authority app, did that bump up the $300 fee, or was that fee cheaper since you're interstate? So on the moving side is interstate. Moving side we call state lines. So it's two different companies. Two different companies. So the final mile side is interstate. The moving side is interstate. Two different companies. Two different companies. So if you're running final mile, should you grab interstate instead? So here's the tricky thing about final mile now. See, with me, by already being inside of these companies, when I drop down from interstate to intrastate, I never let them know. I never let them know. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't a big deal. A lot of these companies now require you to have an interstate MC, and the reason being is they have long distance delivery. So they call them overnight runs, where you may have to cross state lines. They'll pay you extra to go, um, you know, to do, out of state runs that are in rural areas, right? And they'll put you in a hotel and pay you more, and those runs actually are worth it. They pay a lot of money, and that's why now coming into final mile, a lot of these companies want you to have interstate because you may have to cross state lines, especially if you're in a market, let's say like New Jersey, where New York is right there. Even though you're in New Jersey and New York is literally right there, that's a different state. So you may operate out of a terminal coming out of New Jersey, and some of your route may be in that borderline part of New York. So like markets where that border another state, this is another reason why some markets require you to have a MC. Now you can start off with an MC like I did, and then once you get a feel for the logistics company, if you're not doing um, out of state runs, you can drop down to an interstate. So I dropped down before my first inspection, and when you drop down to interstate, um, you don't have to worry about DOT inspections. You just do your state inspections every 6 months. The way it works here in our state, in state of Illinois, is they have different state facilities. You just take your trucks to the state facilities. They do a state inspection, and they give you a sticker. They put the sticker in the window. You go on about your business. Um, so if you drop down to intrastate, you don't have to worry about the DOT inspection. You just do the state inspection if your state has a commerce commission. We have our own regulated uh, commission here, which is the Illinois Commerce Commission, which regulates trucking companies that are registered and operating out of the state of Illinois. So on top of getting your DOT, and even if you're running an MC, you also got to get an Illinois Commerce Commission number, which is an ICC number, and then they will you do all your DOT and not your DOT, your Illinois inspections through through there. If Grace, you still here? I take my trucks on 97th and Halsted every 6 months. Yeah, Texas does it as well. Their regulatory department down there is called the TXDOT, or I think it's TXDOT, something like that. Texas Department of Transportation. I actually got stopped by the Texas Department of Transportation years ago. Not in one of my trucks. I was in another truck. And then even though it was a DOT truck, because we were doing business and in the state of Texas, they said we needed a permit. Some shit they said. I can't remember. That shit was so long ago. But yeah, Texas has their own regulatory department as well, like we do. So yeah, right. We got the ICC, right. So even with not having an MC for being interstate, you still gotta have that ICC number. So like I talked about, I don't know if I did a video, I talked about it on a live. The moving is hard, becoming a licensed mover. It's harder to become a licensed mover here than it is. It's easy to get your public carrier permit with the ICC. That ain't shit with $65 application. Mail it off and they'll just send you the shit and give you the ICC number. With the moving to become a household goods mover, the application is $900. And once you send a check, do the application, send a check with the application for the $900, you'll get a letter in the mail saying with a summons date. So you have to go before a judge, and you got to go before a judge to show the judge that you're willing, able, and capable of running a moving company. When they send you that date for you to come into court to go in front of that judge, you have to pay to put that date in the state newspaper. So you get the date, they mail you the date, you take an ad out in the state newspaper saying, I, Mark the Mentor, plan on meeting Judge Lubin August 3rd at 9 a.m. in courtroom 101 in Des Plaines, Illinois, to motion starting a new moving company. Boom. So I put that ad out in the state newspaper, and then what happens when I go in front of that judge that day to show that I'm willing, able, and capable of running a moving company, the judge, at that point, the judge will allow anybody that wants to object, they can step forward to object for any reason. That's the purpose of them requiring you to put that date in the state newspaper. If no one objects, if there's no occurrences, no objections, then from there the judge will grant you a 1-year permit to run a moving company in the state of Illinois. Within that 1 year, you run your moving company. You get another date to go back within a year. If you don't have any occurrences, you haven't held anybody's furniture or goods hostage, nothing like that. No occurrences. No customers has filed any reports with the Illinois Commerce Commission reporting your ICC number of your company. Then the judge will grant you a moving license. So it's a process to become a licensed mover in the state of Illinois. No, you don't have to be bonded here. Oh yeah, it was the Texas DOT. Now it's the Texas DMV now. Okay. No EOD. Do most final mile companies offer those overnight runs? Never heard of that. I can't say if most. I know some do. I know Cardinal does. I know UST does. I know da, 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 damn, I got the company on the tip of my tongue. I can't think, but a few companies do, and the reason why they do is, man, it's just a lack of people right now. So smaller markets need help. So if a person is coming out of this terminal and this terminal has a good amount of people and they can drive 300-400 miles downstate or across state to another state right next door into those rural areas and do those deliveries, right? Then so be it. And they get paid a shit ton of money to do so. Shit ton. When I tell you it's a shit ton of money, I'm not even exaggerating. Like it's so much money to do those runs. Like I be wondering, like, damn, are they making money or are they covering the cost on some of this just to satisfy their customer, which is the retailer? Like, that shit is like egregious, the amount of money they pay to do those out of state final mile runs. And but yeah, a lot of companies are adapting to that model now because they don't have any choice. Do you have to be bonded? No, not here. All right, man, it's been a very informative night. Make sure y'all guys hit that like button. I enjoyed talking with y'all tonight. I know it was a smaller crowd tonight. I expected a smaller crowd as a Friday night. I just wanted to come on and rap with y'all for a second, because I was trying to stay woke, for something. So I appreciate y'all for coming in. Make sure y'all hit that like button. But I got to get up out of here because I got something to go do. I will be back Monday for the Wise Men podcast with Kurt, which will be the last episode of the season before we come back for season 2. And then I'll be back next Thursday for my episode. Make sure y'all hit that like button on y'all way out. I appreciate y'all. Good night. Be safe.